Is there a system within this world where I could take a magic item like, let's say, +1 dagger, and transfer that property to a different weapon, like, let's say, the dagger that I have with the diamond in the hilt?
Did I speed diamond? Or was it?
No, mine does.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's how I'm able to cast the chromatic orb.
Tiny little.
Yep.
It's average though. Yeah. Yeah, there would be.
Okay. I'm just wondering, like, not necessarily right now, but in the future, like, let's say there's a battle axe that does something, and somebody here uses a sword.
Mhm.
We could transfer over potentially the enchantment on the battle axe to the sword.
Ideally, Dan wouldn't give us a battle axe that none of us are going to use.
That's true.
It depends on the rarity of the item.
Okay. Well, would that just up the cost of the transfer? Barring it being like legendary, right?
So I
Or
guess
like
this is kind of a good point to talk about for anyone who's watching, because like for a level 4 party, you guys have gotten more gold than some parties will see in like a level 20 campaign. So I think it's worth addressing because you guys are on the open sea, you guys are doing what you're doing with pirating and ship upgrades and stuff like that. You guys are going to be getting a lot of gold. So cost for other things isn't going to be the same, because gold is going to most likely be, depending on your fails, your failures and your successes, is going to be pretty abundant in the campaign because of ship-related stuff.
We are small business owners.
We are.
That's true.
So we are making a lot of money.
Yes. There's small boatness owners.
Yeah, exactly. Our business just happens to be stealing from other people.
I mean, that's
we should do
technically
like
true.
a taxi service.
Yeah.
I mean, hey.
We've
So you
got
guys are a
overhead.
Wait, you guys
we
are a
have-
corporation?
Essentially.
I think we should just be a syndicate.
Maybe a DBA, just doing business as pirates. DBAP.
Independent contractors.
Yeah.
Yep.
Isn't that technically the truth, though?
Dab.
Very technically, that is the truth. But yeah, I think that's worth bringing up, just because like some people in chat might be like, "Why the f is he giving them so much gold? This is ridiculous." But like,
We're pirates.
you're literally going to spend 13k, like right now, on one ship upgrade.
Right. Last time on the Naturals, the ragtag crew went on their first big mission. Right. We got our gold, and we headed back to Siguri Dad with Captain Abraham, and got a total of about 13,000 gold on top of some other trinkets, like a +1 dagger, and I think I wrote them all down, and some other stuff. And we are gonna
Ring of water walking and a
ring of
pocket
water
watch.
walking and a pocket watch. True. Which only tells time.
Yeah, but it adjusts to time zone.
Yep, his adjusted to sick.
That's
I don't
pretty
believe in
cool,
time
to be
zones.
honest.
Yes.
Call
This is a meta meme. And we are going to be on our way to get a ship upgrade this session, hopefully.
Oh yeah,
hopefully.
that's starting. Okay.
Dad is turning us loose.
Dad's letting us go.
Yeah, so Captain Abraham is basically happy with his test that he ran with all of you. And now he's getting you set so that you can start pirating on your own. Obviously following the creed, hopefully. But once this is done, it seems that he is kind of letting you go off your own thing. So we pick up with the group waking up early on. A couple of members had spoken to individuals that they had picked up along the way, including a doctor who had joined the group in the city of Arist while they were there to steal medicine. This doctor decided that what the group was fighting for and pretty much risked it all to come. Sid went to speak with that doctor. He said that maybe once things settled down a bit, once he was able to get away from his work at the hospital curing the sick of Seguridad, that he would join up as the crew's onboard doctor. In the meantime, the group is going to be going to Alv's home. This is an island not far from Seguridad. It's actually the second closest island to Seguridad in general. And they'll be there for about a week, which in this world is 10 days. So I guess we should just start saying a 10-day, which is the same exact phrasing as Wizards uses for Forgotten Realms, but it's so they're going to be there for a 10-day in order to get this new upgrade, which is a hull upgrade where they're getting logs cut, shaped, and placed from the area of Totenhall, which anyone who watched Season 1, you know that is what the majority of the campaign. So we wake up in the morning. The group is all together, and they are getting ready to set out for their journey to Alv's home. Anything you guys want to accomplish before you shove off?
I don't think I have anything. I have an idea, but that's not until like we get there.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Are
too.
you
I just
are
want to
you
know.
are you allowing me to spend more time to
Make money on the side.
working on the thing I was working on the side
Sure.
that I
do that.
rolled a like fucking 3 on last time?
True.
It
Yeah,
was a bad day.
I'd say
Okay.
you could wake up and
Looking
start
for-
working.
Is
Yeah,
there a
I-
library? Oh, not go. I don't want to interrupt.
Yeah, just looking for like material. I don't know if I had the material. I'm looking for Hold up, give me a sec. You can go to Tim. You go.
Is there a library?
Swanson
Yeah,
View.
there is a massive library on this island. This island is home to a like huge center of knowledge, both banned and accessible. Collections from pirates past.
I don't want like a big thing. I just want to go in there and get a couple books on herbalism, potion making, and healing.
I think Sid goes with Tempest and Lady of course.
Mhm. That's
Sid wants to get a book on dog training.
Yeah, I'd say you're able to go there and find that. I'm just gonna show stream real quick the so here's Seguridad, here's where the ship is, with that ship icon. And then they need to travel around the island and go to the bay that is just down here. What was it? As you walk
I
in,
think.
go ahead.
Oh wait, go ahead.
No, after you first.
No.
No,
Okay.
you.
As you walk in, you see that the library itself is larger on the inside than it is on the out. Tempest, there's something about this that's like not unnerving to you and that seems familiar to you. Can't tell where you're placing that memory, but walking in, there's almost like if you were to have transparency on an image and place it over another of something else that is of a similar vein. But that eventually fades away.
The TARDIS.
I think I have 2 hearts. What the fuck?
You see that there is a central desk that has an individual just sitting at it. Seems that they are cataloging some books that they have in a large stack. And they notice you walk in, acknowledge your presence.
I'll walk up and say that I'm here looking for some books on maybe herbalism for dummies. I bought this herbalism kit and I would like to learn how to use it.
And I'm looking for one of these dog training manuals. My companion here may not be furry, but she acts mostly like a dog.
Lady will just look up at you and look back forward.
Her deep black skull holes where eyes should be.
Person behind the desk will say, "Yeah, well, I think we got a few things on that. See here." He starts like looking through another book, flipping through. Not that one. Tosses it off to the side, picks up another. Nope, not that one. Closes it, tosses it off to the side, grabs another. Oh, no, that one either. Tosses it off to the side, grabs another one.
I think Sid is just looking at
watch. Look at the pocket watch.
Sid looks over at the pocket watch and goes, "Now, does that just tell you the time no matter where you are?"
I think so. I'm not sure yet.
I happen to be a true believer in, one time zone for everyone. I'm sorry
like,
for stream.
It sounds like a movement I could get behind.
Now, one day we can really talk about this at length, but I hope our friend here finds some books that might help us.
Once we get back on the ship, I think we could spend at least a good hour and a half talking about this.
Wouldn't it be convenient if you were to travel around the world and the time was the same? Wherever you went.
It would be unbelievably convenient. Could you imagine having to constantly change your time?
Man, it would also be crazy if we just had some mangoes in front of us too.
We're doing RP. Okay.
They're RPing.
Yeah, we're RPing.
I don't know. This is bridging a gap. I don't.
They're having a conversation in
Let them
character.
be.
You can't
Yeah,
mangle
in
that.
character as themselves. Let's.
Exactly. You get it.
You don't know how Sid feels about the time zones.
Yeah.
Hey. No.
Just for streams reference, I have been constantly in our weekly call to arms, just reminding people when the stream is and all that. Just that I've been sending messages from the front lines of the war on Eastern Standard Time.
Fighting back against standard time zones just in general. And time zones in general.
Yeah.
Across the board. Any of them. Anyway. He'll interject to say, I found one. I did find one. So you're looking for herbalism. That's gonna be on floor number 2. You're gonna see a section that's gonna be called herbalism. Small one. Right up there. And for you, you're going to find a little section on floor 3. That one's up there. 1, 2, 3. It's going to be called animal handling. That's all in there. And you're going to go to section 4. Because dogs have 4 legs. We section it out by how many legs the animals have. Typically.
Smart move.
That was kind of our thinking.
So I'll head off, and find me a book. Are we allowed to take them out of the library?
Yeah, you just have to check it out.
All right, sweet.
Is he eyed lady at all?
Even more of a reason to come back.
The flaming
he-
dog.
I mean, he has looked over at Lady, but has just like not acknowledged Lady in any way. Just
Okay.
doesn't care.
Now, lady, is there any books that you would like to check out? And
Dog can read.
I think lady shakes her head no.
Who barks no?
Do I investigate? Can I also look for potential? So I would want a book on like potion making and all of that, and then a book on like ingredients and where to find them.
Yeah, so you find 2 books specifically. I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. Pretty late. It's actually pretty well organized here. And it kind of goes from like beginner knowledge to amateur to intermediate, advanced, master. Kind of has like information laid out in a very clear cut way. You find 2. One of them is potion making in the Kelowna Islands for dummies, and then the other one is herbs and where to find them.
All right, so can I take the beginner and intermediate because I don't know when we're going to be back here, and then the herbs and where to find them.
Sure.
Perfect.
Sid, on the 3rd floor,
Yeah.
You find animal handling, and you start looking through, and you see like creatures of all kinds, going from 1 leg to 2 legs, 4, where you eventually find a section on dog. You see that the 4-legged section is much bigger than this.
Well, I'm in the 4-legged section. Do I find anything specifically on hellhounds?
Yeah, you do find a book that specifically talks about hellhound. And it's just like a general book of hell. And it's just called Beasts from Hell. Very simple. Just kind of flipping through it, you see that it's not about necessarily like devils or fiends, but of the other creatures that there's a section on hellhounds.
I take it off from the shelf, and as I'm looking through it, I think Sid kind of kneels down in front of Lady and says, "Now, Lady, have you ever encountered any of these beasts here?" And he's just kind of like generally flipping through the book.
At one point, Lady will nudge the page when you come across hell rats.
Those do look particularly nasty.
She just nods her head once.
And he puts the book back up there and looks for like a general like dog training book.
Yeah, you find one. It's
Yeah.
fairly worn, fairly beat up, but in relatively good condition.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check that out. And yeah.
As you're heading towards the stairs to leave, you actually run into Captain Abraham, who is coming from the 4th floor.
What a pleasure. You a fine, educated man just as myself. Nice to see you here.
He'll say, "Hey, Sid, how are you today?"
Oh, I'm doing just fine. Me and Lady here just looking for a good book on how we could possibly get along even better than we currently do.
Always nice to keep up on things and to learn how to just be better in general. I was just up speaking with the wise pirate himself. Always like to check in, get some knowledge from him.
Would Sid know anything about that?
You know the Wise Pirate. That's a name that is well known throughout the island of Seguridad. There's a couple pirates that are known. There's
Yeah, this
Dra.
one's dead though, right?
So there's Dra the Raven, Layla Ghostmane, pulled off the greatest heist ever. There's Sid McCoy.
Yep.
There's Mikhail Vance, who is currently alive. Ghostmane like disappeared. Like no one knows if she's dead or alive. There's Murda Blacktongue, who died in 81. There's Grommen the Mad Badger, who is currently still alive. And then there's Hendrik the Wise Pirate Balo, who, to your knowledge, died in 80. Did they
My
die?
package
Captain
has
Speed
another
Ghost.
package.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Ray mailed you something. You better watch out.
Packageception.
No, not this time. No. Promise it's not from me.
Yeah. So now, as far as I understand it, how do you commune with the wise pirate himself?
There's an essence of him, I suppose. So it's not him, but it is him. Not sure if that makes sense, but
I can roll with that.
it's the last imprint that he left here before his passing. He would come here, gather information from his excursions, and in a way pass that information onto the imprint that he left. So this is the one that was around before he went on his final excursion.
Oh, that'd be good to keep in the back pocket someday, just in case our little crew might need access to it.
Well, you're captaining your own vessel, and that's who was allowed to speak with the wise captain. I see no reason why not. Once we get you a proper vessel, that is.
Now, I do enjoy the little conjecture about the shitty boat and all. It is a fine pleasure to have, though.
Any ship that you find yourself on, you can rely on. Ship. No matter what anyone says, and no matter what jabs someone may take at you, and he kind of nudges you with his elbow. Your ship is your ship. Only you and the people closest to you can make fun of it. Anyone else does, they're dead.
Oh, they're straight up dinner for lady, if I do say so myself.
I'm sure you do. And he kind of gestures for you to follow him down the stairs.
Yeah.
You meet up with Tempest as you guys kind of make your way to the desk. And the individual sitting behind there will say, "Right now, got these here books. So, want you to know, we will know who checked these ones out. And if you, at any point, try to dispel the magic that's on it that makes it come back within 10 days, no matter what, we'll know about it. It'd be a bit of an issue, but I don't see any of y'all stealing information. But we'll know."
Well, I don't have the capabilities of that, but my egg-eating friend over here possibly does. I'll make sure he doesn't.
I like to think that Tempest is just, he has like pocket warm eggs that he just keeps pulling out to eat.
Pocket
I'm trying to
scrambled eggs or
bulk,
something.
okay? My strength is a 6, alright?
Yeah, you gotta do better. You gotta eat more eggs than that. I eat like 12, man.
As soon as we find an Umber Hulk, you're dead.
In this economy?
In this economy?
You eating eggs in this economy? It's crazy.
No.
They're expensive, dude. It used to be $2 a dozen. Now it's 8.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I'd call that
I love our
unacceptable.
economy in shambles.
Well, blame the avian flu for now.
For
If
now.
it stays this way, then it's an issue. Anyway,
All right.
that's enough about real world trauma.
Yeah.
Real world egg drama.
How will
Real
these
world
books
egg
get
drama.
back?
Oh,
They-
they'll just,
All right.
hit you with a little
And how long do we have?
2-10 day.
So 20 days?
Yeah.
Could I have longer?
He grabs a book, starts looking through. Let me just make sure. I'm just put on. I'm not normal. Like, this isn't normally my job. I don't know if that was obvious or not.
You seem like a professional. Takes back out the pocket watch.
Nope, not that one. Grabs another. Here we are. So, yeah, I can extend it for an additional 5 days. About it though.
Sure.
Now, does that depend on where you are in the area? If you are in a different time zone, how does that factor into this?
It is 5 24-hour. It would be an additional 5 24-hour increments from this point forward. Nothing more, nothing less. Time zones, I don't believe, when it comes to hours, don't necessarily matter. It's this time zone, not others.
So if we're on the other side of the islands here and we happen to be in the other time zone, we won't end up, if we cross back over the line, and we have that hour, but then we cross over the line and the time has changed for us, do we lose that hour?
An hour has not passed. It's just been.
Does this library stand outside of time and place itself? Is
Now,
that what you're telling
listen
me?
here, young fella. It's an
What is
arbitrary
going
line
on?
placed by
Mine.
those in power to make sure that the workers keep working in the daylight so that they can get their most effective means of things done. Listen, I don't make the rules.
But what if we didn't adhere to the time zone and the time itself? What if you just woke up at 3 a.m. no matter what?
Then good for you.
That's when the sun came up,
What if we don't adhere to time zone?
Listen, I'm just going off of what it says in here, this here book, okay? And just in the book.
Okay, I'll take my extra 5 hours with my books then.
5 days.
Okay,
He,
I wasn't listening to that part. I'm sorry.
He
Random
opens it up,
passerby.
flips open the book, takes a stamp, stamps each one once, and then takes an additional stamp. It's a different stamper, and stamps each one, and it just says +5. And as you see it like sit into the book, it sinks in to the page, and then you see a timer start to go down.
Okay.
This is why magic should exist in real life. This is cool.
Yeah.
You wouldn't forget to turn it in. It would just magically return itself.
So Abraham, as you guys are walking out, he'll say, "You know why they do that, right?
Because pirates are bad at returning stuff.
Pirates are terrible at returning things, and they tend to take things. It's kind of our thing.
That's a lot of things.
There's many things and things with things, and other things that have things in things." Articulate.
Fabulous.
Now, are you okay with this random passerby just blowing kisses at you, Abraham?
It's
Really
just
pacified.
it's Swan with his mask off.
Oh god,
He's
I
just
like to
going around
imagine
giving
just a
kisses
random
out.
dude.
that's meta as hell.
Meta as fuck. Anyway, you all make it back down to the dock.
Like, oh, Dad, can I do my shopping real quick? I want a bony looking material and some engraving like I wouldn't say like a blood color ish, like a
Bonier material.
bone and scarlet, like a bone base with like scarlet engraving.
Are you
It's
looking
like
for like a
whatever-
lightweight material, or do you not care?
I'm looking for something that's yeah, roughly lightweight.
Okay. I'm gonna roll real quick,
Okay.
and this is just going to be to determine if this particular item that I have in mind is available.
Okay.
It is. So you, I rolled a nat 20.
Let's go.
Nice.
You find a large chunk of dead coral.
Nice.
It's not like going out in different directions. It seems like it's like almost a shell of it.
Okay.
Like it
Like
was
it.
covering a rock or grew from a rock or attached itself to something. And you see that it's fairly expensive, sitting at 10 gold pieces. But it is the same color that you're looking for, and it is lightweight, breathable, and seems to be of good quality.
Yeah, I'll buy it. Fuck it.
Okay.
I probably have 10
shopkeep-
gold on me, I think.
Oh, you definitely have enough. The shopkeep will say, "Yeah, this is a good find. One of the traders brought it in a little while ago. Said that he found a bunch more too. So
He found more, and it's this expensive? What?
yeah, I guess it's hard to find. Like it's hard to like get it because I guess
Well-
there's like a bunch of sharks nearby. I don't know.
Nom.
It's fine. I'll take it.
Do we railroad this entire campaign and just become coral harvesters?
Coral hunters.
Yeah. We just become
Just
coral.
destroy the
What?
environment
And you
in the
think that I
process by
wouldn't?
stealing
You
all
think
of the
that I
coral?
wouldn't like just put things in your way?
No.
You underestimate
this
how
makes me wanna
wanna
do it more.
Party can be.
Yeah.
We start a business of coral now.
That this
And
is our
just stick
small business.
stick around for a little bit here, okay? I've got things planned for today. Don't worry.
It's got plans.
Really.
I have
We can
anything
do
to
like
say
a
about
side
it.
quest. We can have like one of the days where we're on the island waiting for our boat to be done, where we take a side quest and go coral hunting.
Why not? No, is there a no bargaining sign then?
Yeah. It seems that in any place that you go where money is used in transactions, there is a no bargaining sign everywhere.
Oh fuck. Okay, well I'll grab the 10 gold piece. Well, if you find your guy again, it's pretty cool material. Say thanks for me.
Yeah, I will. You're with that group, right? The new pirate group that's under Captain Abraham, right?
I mean, if you mean the ones that, you know, did all those things with the ships, yes, that's us.
That doesn't really narrow it down, but sure.
Don't worry about it.
I heard them. There was a very eccentric fellow talking at the tavern a couple nights ago.
Yeah, he's new.
I figured. But yeah, if I run into that merchant again, I'll tell him to keep an eye out for you.
Sorry, I didn't catch your name. What was it?
Oh, my name is Georg.
I want to know how on the spot that was.
Georg.
Georg.
I want to
Okay.
know how last minute that
Georg.
name is.
Oh, split second choice.
Straight out your ass.
I was like, do I name him George? Nah, that's not fantasy. Georg it is.
Georg.
Amazing.
I like Georg. Is Georg a romanceable character? I mean,
There is a
Is he a romanceable NPC?
there is
Yes.
an umlaut over the O as well. That should be mentioned.
Oh god.
You actually have to come back here and complete a side quest, and right before the final mission, Georg will go on a proper date with you.
Nice.
You do unlock the sex scene, though.
Yeah, you do. You also need to make sure that you do enough tea times with him, because if you don't, then it's a no-go.
And then
Yeah,
you
that's
unlock the
super good.
ability to get that character's like add-on,
Mm-hmm.
but then you have to buy that in the store separately.
True. And it is a $2.99 micro that I will only
Yes.
take via PayPal.
Yeah, and you can actually only buy $2.70 in currency.
Mm-hmm. So you
Mhm.
need to buy 2. And
Oh,
The leftover is not enough to buy anything else.
no, the leftover is enough to buy mangoes. So all
One
of you make your
emote.
way back to the to the ship. And you hop on board. Abraham calls over. Right, so just follow the main. We're just gonna be going into the main port for the time being, but then we're just securing passage. I need to hop on in and speak with a few individuals, and then we should be good to go.
wonderful.
Oh, sounds good.
And you guys shove off. I'm pretty much just gonna skip, unless you guys have things that you
Aw.
want to specifically do on the ship. Like, if you guys want to just kind of reconvene and chat, that's fine.
Wait, Sid, didn't you want to like tell the crew about you talking to that one
Oh, yeah.
doctor?
Dr. Mario.
Yeah.
Mario.
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 Him.
He wears a white lab coat and a red hat. I think at some point I think we're probably sitting around the dinner table. I don't know. Sitting around the old proverbial pirate ship dinner table.
Mhm.
Sitting on the floor on the
course.
deck eating.
AKA, you call the crew over to the stairs where you're sitting on, and everyone's
Yeah.
just kind of like gathered around.
I think just that the officers, Aiden and everybody else doesn't need to know.
Oh, okay.
For now.
So you guys are just
uh,
up on the poop deck then.
Yeah. Now I think I procured that that Dr. Moros for us to possibly have a doctor if we wanted to have one on staff. I did promise him that we would pay him. He had some sort of stipulation, but I, for one, think it's probably good if we had a doctor on board, don't you think?
Aye.
Yeah, stipulation or not,
He-
seems pretty useful.
He'd be accident prone sometimes.
Is Atlas having like a mental breakdown and remembering his past, PTSD, like needs
He's
a
been
doctor?
being pretty quiet.
Atlas is just following Aiden around, just belittling him.
Micromanaging the shit out of him mopping the floor.
Yeah,
Oh,
you missed a
no.
spot there, and there. Aiden, I ever see you jaywalk, I'm killing you on site.
On
questions
Spud.
asked.
Whoa.
He's gonna kill him.
Oh.
Killing you on Spud.
Hey, you only died once.
Hot.
But I do have to say we do have to return to Secure Dog to pick him up, and I believe he said about a 10-day. He might be willing to come along with us. He had some sort of stipulation. I suspect that we wouldn't ask him to kill anyone because he felt kind of bad about that last time he had to do that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's good. I know I'm gonna try to fill the void and learn how to make health potions. So
Now,
that we won't have that much of a need.
Yeah, I myself am not very good with a needle
It'd still
I
be
agree.
good to have a doctor.
or a barber surgeon. Occasionally, we need to get our hairs cut.
Barber surgeon.
Same job.
It's
That's
gonna
what
be
the
good with
red
any
in
kind of knife, it's
the in
fine.
the swirl is.
What?
For blood
Blood, yeah.
surgeon.
And the white is bone.
Not
What's
crazy.
blue?
Um,
Skeleton.
I'm good with the good doctor joining us.
Aye, same. He was nice.
I was gonna say when we were in the library, a lady was considering picking up a book on how to do stitches, but I suppose her paws might not be good for her.
Lady will just look up at you and go, ruff.
I trust lady with my life. Honestly.
That's your first mistake.
No,
I was gonna say,
I've made a lot.
as honored as I would be, I would much rather have non-pause.
Given our current state, I'd say I made a lot of other mistakes.
Oh, you do happen to make some delicious ball-shaped meals. I don't know how you do it, but you do.
Ah, well. Family secrets. I'll teach you one day if you want.
I do have to say that those balls of oatmeal, they were delicious. I like them quite a lot.
I've been enjoying the overnight oats.
Aiden will pass by and they'll say, I don't know how you got that oatmeal to stay in a bowl when it was all wet and gloopy, though. That was impressive. And he just keeps, like, mopping as he's, like, going along.
Who is the one in the group that can't swim?
Perry.
Is that Perry?
Perry can't swim, yeah.
I'm gonna go up to Perry and give him the ring of water walking.
And then throw him into the ocean.
Just feed him into the water. Hey, you want to see if it works?
Like an infant learning to swim.
That's
A bird learn how to fly.
I feel like that's a good pick. Or that's
Yeah,
a good pick.
It is.
We also have a +1 dagger and a watch. If anybody would like them. I was gonna take the dagger because that's pretty much all I can use. But I don't know if anybody else uses daggers here.
Hmm.
Can you play strings with this dagger? Well, then it's not for me.
You want to watch?
I wouldn't mind having another dagger.
Oh,
You could take the dagger.
I have one, but I really don't like using it, so might be nice having another weapon.
Yeah, I think I don't want to be in the situation where I have to use a dagger, so you can have it.
I'll look out for you. It's fine.
Suppose we could throw the pocket watch in the brig for adhering to time zones.
well,
The
Sid, if you'd
fucking
like.
stare. The stare. My
Damn, this isn't going away ever.
Never.
It's an integral part of his personality.
It's just like Atlas touching someone for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be brought up every single time.
Now it's going to be the same 10 minutes in each time zone.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear.
So for the rest of the trip, I'm going to be reading my beginner's guide, and then also looking at the island that we're going to and seeing which ingredients can be found there.
Sure.
Occasionally on the trip, I would like to feed the bird. The bird that's still in the cage down below that we kind of forgot about.
About the bird.
Gotcha. So this will be a 2-day trip to get to the island itself, get to the main port. So day 1, you guys do what you need to do. Tempest, you learn that there's a couple of different herbs that you can pick up on this island that are good for health potions. You also learn that there are certain areas that you can find aloe, which are very important for health potions. So what you need for a basic health potion, ingredients wise, there's more to it than just, but you need aloe, lavender, mint, and honey.
Okay.
On this island, you can find aloe, lavender, mint, but bees on this island don't really tend to make honey that is of a good enough quality.
Okay. Okay.
Who knows? You might find something, but for the most part, it says in the book that bees of Alv's home tend to make low quality honey.
Specific and shit.
bird takes a liking to you, Rhys, as you feed it. And we'll just kind of like skip through until you get there. Pulling up to Alv's home, you see that it is very forested. There's trees everywhere. As you like get to the west coast of the island and can see everything there, you notice that there are just massive tall trees that cover the majority of the land, with beaches dotting the coast where there aren't cliffs. As you pull around the north coast, heading down the east into the bay of Jorgensport, you can see this massive sprawling town of just all types of buildings. There's a mix of large stone structures along with wooden, very natural looking structures that seem to almost blend into the natural scene. One massive building that you notice is kind of right on the tip of the cove itself, and of this natural port, and you have to pass by it to get through. And you see that it says on the side, Thatch Family Distillery.
As we're going by, Sid kind of does a wooga, and
Cat
he
called the distillery building.
whoever's standing next to him, he goes, "No, I think we should organize ourselves a little tour of the distillery, don't you think?"
I couldn't agree more.
You guys will be on this island for a 10-day while your ship is getting outfitted, so you might be able to make that happen. So you start going along, following the Luxmaris's Revenge into port, where it docks in a particular spot, but there doesn't really seem to be like enough room for you. So Abraham will kind of like wave you down, point at one of you and say, "Just tie up next to us. We're gonna figure it out. We're also not gonna be staying in this port for now. I need to go and secure passage to where we're going to be going, and then I'll be bringing you back here." I'm calling in a favor from some friends, because I want to, once we're getting you to the place we need to go, I want to teach you some bits about being a pirate crew and captain. It's going to be useful.
Thanks, Dad.
So you guys tie up. You see he leaves and walks pretty far off down the docks, where he turns onto one of the larger docks that are there. It seems to be a shipping dock of some kind. And he gets out of sight at that point. So it's just you, the crew, and the crew of the Luxmaris's Revenge.
What? Are we allowed to go off ship and explore the island? Have we been to this island before in our travels over the past 2 years?
So some of you have probably stopped by. This particular port is one of the oldest ports in this set of islands that isn't halfling. A long time ago, elves came here to settle. They found that there were some dwarves who had settled in the north, which is where you are now. The elf settlement just got decimated by something. No one knows what it is. No one knows what happened. It just disappeared. There were a few markings and a few relics that were left behind, but other than that, all of the elves, except for a couple who were in the north trading, disappeared or were killed or what have you. But no remains have been found. No evidence of where they went have been found. Archaeologists have been searching that site for a long time. Occasionally, archaeologist groups will just go missing. So it's considered a cursed area that is avoided at all cost. As you're kind of standing on the dock here, you can see off in the distance there's a mountain range that kind of goes like diagonal through the island, and that's what splits the north and south. Anything past the south, anyone who settles there is just considered to be cursed, and that they will inevitably disappear or go missing.
So that's where we're going to be going.
Yes.
I would assume that would be the case.
Mayhaps.
At some point.
That's our guess. There we go.
Are there deserted islands?
Yeah, there are islands that have small settlements on them that nothing ever happened with them. If you look at the map in the campaign Bible, you'll notice that there are a couple that are just unnamed, and either they're uninhabitable or there are old settlements there that failed because it was just not workable.
Okay. Cool.
Ooh, pretty. Spooky.
Mhm.
I don't really have anything specific I want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good. I'm good too. Unless are there shops with magical items in this port that we could go take a look at real quick.
There probably are. Here, if you were to try and track down magic items, they would probably be pretty expensive.
Okay. I mean, just looking around, just trying to see what there is.
Yeah, you know what? That's fine. I'll say that you just kind of like go down into the shopping district, and just start like looking around, looking for stuff. So this island, its main source of commerce is stone used for making walls, stone used for making portions of like artillery, for catapults and trebuchet. The stone here is very strong and tends to hold up to all types of damage.
Okay.
So because of that, there's a good amount of money that comes in here. There's also a high imperial presence. Not directly necessarily, but absolutely enough to eye on. There's also, Thatch Distillery, which is its main export, like its absolute export.
Is there a blacksmith on? I would assume there would be on this island. Okay. That's all I wanted to know.
Didn't we give ourselves each 100 gold? 200 gold?
Is it 100?
I think it was 100, and then we...
It was 100 each if we got 2,000, or if we got 1,000 less for the price.
I
But
thought...
we were quoted what, 12,000 to 13,000?
No, I'm talking
Yeah.
about from the stuff that we got from the medicine heist.
Oh.
I don't think it was that high. I think it was 10 gold
Yeah, I don't
each.
think it was that high.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because I do have 10 gold on me,
Okay.
but
Yeah, I wasn't sure. But yeah, you're right. It would have been if we had the extra. That was totally what was going on. Cool.
So going into these different shops, you find that there are just designated magic item shops. Give me history check and use the thing without using the thing. So, like, don't mark it off as a use, but you're allowed to use.
So cryptic.
Are you really surprised?
I it's 21 plus whatever the thing is.
The additional die.
Additional D6 is it?
Yeah.
26.
Okay. This shop that you're looking at is attempting to be a copy of a very famous magic shop in Gwendolith, and across the world. There is an inventor named Swifty. He fought with Estergine a couple hundred years ago, and he got famous off the back of helping them, and was renowned for creating high-quality magic items. His legacy lived on in his children, who continued doing his work. There is actually a living relative of his. It's his grandson, who is currently doing work, from what you know, in the country of Ilvanas, which is very far down to this. Whoever this is just trying to be a cheap imitation of him, or of the original Swifty. So what you find in here are just magic items, wall to wall. And as you walk in, you see that there's a very, very greasy looking individual. Hair, like black hair greased back into a ponytail. Kind of a little hunch to his back. Looks to be like 30, but has the demeanor of someone who's like 60. And he'll look at you, Tempest, and say, Hey, how you doing? What can I help you out with? What are you looking for? What kind of things can I get in your pocket today, huh?
Is everybody else here?
I'll stay with you.
Sweet. Perfect.
It's like I
Exactly what I
came with
wanted.
you to look for a blacksmith, but then I just stuck around with you.
Rhys, can you bring out that dagger?
I pull out the dagger and
So I'm
Hand
gonna
over
show him. This has some magical properties. I was wondering how much it would cost to transfer these magical properties to what's your main weapon?
main weapon would be probably one of my hand axes.
To one of his hand axes.
Well, that let me go and consult with a couple people. Give me 1 second. And he walks back behind these beaded curtains that like give off this really dusty and musty smell as they
Gross.
into this back room. He'll come back out and say, that one there is beyond any of our expertise. We're unfortunately not able to transfer magic over. You might need to find someone a little bit stronger. But in the meantime, I might be able to get in your hands something that might be a little bit more worth your while.
Lay it on me.
All right, come on and follow me. And he'll lead you into this back room looking area. It's just like this big emporium room almost, where there's just like wall to wall stuff. There's a display case in the middle. There's like these little crystals, it seems like, that are lighting up the cases in such a way that it, like, I don't know, reminds you of almost looking directly into the sun with how weirdly bright and white the light is.
Ew.
And he'll say, all right. So we've got a bunch of different things here. We have a bunch of magic weapons, if you're looking for that. They're going to be right in this middle case here. I can also show you a couple of cool little trinket items that are going to be interesting for adventurers, I'm assuming, based on your gear. Adventurers such as yourselves. And he kind of turns to this wall of amulets, and he said, right, so we got amulets all over here. We've got rings right down there, and then we have, for you, for all of you, I think I'll show you this little special showcase items. You all look like you're interested in high quality magic items with a little bit of backstory, maybe with a little bit of special quality to them.
Go on.
Kind of like look over to Tempest because like magic items ain't my thing, so I'm just like, that this is your thing, dude.
Right, follow me. And he'll bring you back to this area behind another beaded curtain that, again, as you move it, it's musty and it smells like dust that's been sitting around.
After I touch the bead in order to get out of the way, I kind of like just like rub my hands on like my pants to try to get that feeling off.
There is absolutely like a streak of just dust down your pants now. That is going to be really tough to get out.
Pants aren't meant to be clean anyway. It's fine.
And in here, you see that there are not as many items, but 5 up against the wall. And he'll say, right, so these magic items here, they are very, very special. They are one of a kind, genuine magic items that were used by heroes of old. So you all know Estragine, yeah? Adventuring group, saved the world a couple times. Heard of them? Know them a little bit?
Yes, we've heard of them.
Perfect. So they had this cleric that was with them, right? And this cleric, he used this mace. It was this weapon, crazy weapon. Was able to cast the light spell from it. It would glow. It would do extra damage to like these undead that he would go off and fight all the time. This here is that mace. And you look at it, and it's just like this nicely made mace. And he'll say, that there, genuine. We have the certificate of authentication. Right.
Can I get an insight check on this guy? This
Oh,
dude seems
absolutely.
Snake oil salesman. Absolute snake oil.
Use
Ben's
magic
spelling
item
everything
salesman.
like really, really
Yeah.
hard.
I'm gonna tell
It is
you,
50
I
though.
rolled a 19 on the
50.
die
Uh-huh.
with a +4, so 23.
Okay. That one, lying out his ass.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously.
I gotta say, do I look like somebody who uses a mace? And
know
I
what?
hold up my arm that's just a twig.
He'll say, you know what, friend? That is a good point. Let's move on to the next item here. So this item here, this one was used by a little-known adventuring group. This group doesn't really get a lot of attention, but personally, I think that they're one of the best ones out there. Estragine is all nice and good, and there's been, like, some heroes of the past who have been, oh, so high and mighty. There's another group out there that had this one particular magic item and this one particular set of quests that they completed that just made an impact on a particular set in area of the world. And this item here, this one is very important to that group, and they used it. It was used by their hands in particular. One of them got their hands dirty while using it. This here is what is known as an immovable rod.
You can't return this. That is a dead magic item, Dan. You can't return that to this game.
Please, no.
He's
this
the
weapon,
DM. He
this,
can and he will.
this item is a
bad.
very good item. This is very good.
Yeah,
Very-
no, it's
very
forever
bad.
sullied.
Very
It's
bad.
forever
in my-
sullied. R.I.P.
no.
Sully.
Why? What happened?
Oh,
Do I want to know?
the rod has seen some things.
Oh,
Now
no.
listen, there was
Seen
one
someday.
there was one member of that group in particular that would use this, and they used it specifically against dragons in particular. Whenever they would fight a dragon, it was made sure to be used.
The characters.
Can I
don't know
roll
what
for fecal
players
matter?
do.
Is that what's going on here?
Did you say roll for fecal matter?
Yeah, did you shove it up the dragon's butt and then make it immovable? Is that what's going on here?
That may
You
or
said
may
it's
not have
seen
happened.
some shit.
I have nothing to do with this.
Okay.
I personally had nothing to do with this.
If you want an insight, you can go for it.
All right.
After the salesman kind of
14.
like talked about like them using a dragon, that you just kind of see them be like, kind of like not wanting to judge, but just at the same time, it's just like, God, what did you guys do? What did they do?
They've
Slight
done a lot.
disgusted look on their face. Slight.
They've done a lot.
What'd you get on the insight?
14.
This is a total lie. This isn't even an immovable rod.
I'm gonna ask him to demonstrate how it works.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, you know what? I actually can't because you need to have like powers given from above from one of those their special gods or powerful
I
beings.
have those powers. Let me try.
Oh, okay. You know, I understand. You want to use it. You want to see how it goes. You want to see how one would use this particular rod.
So can I take the rod?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna reach into my pocket and pull out a pearl and cast Identify on it.
Mm-hmm.
What happens?
You immediately get that this is a rod of the Pact Keep.
What does that mean?
So
Warlock thing.
it is a warlock item.
Okay.
Like must be attuned to by a warlock.
Yes. Okay.
It is the +2 variant of that item.
The fuck?
Does that mean he like how much for this?
That item in particular? Ooh,
Yeah.
well, you know, with the story behind it and with everything that's attached to this item
Yeah.
and the power that it holds, I'm you know, for you, I think I'd be able to knock that price down to about 10,000. Normally it's at 15, but I could knock that down to 10, no problem.
I'm gonna put my arm around him and be like, "Look here, buddy. I don't know who you think you're talking to, but which alliance are we in?
You are
It's in
part.
Empire territory.
We're in Empire territory right now. Okay, so never mind. I'm gonna say, I know you're lying about all this stuff, and unless you want a visit by the town inspector with reports of selling goods under false pretenses, I think we're gonna want that price down.
Go ahead and give me an intimidation.
I'm not the guy to do that.
Nope.
Do you
That's
want
why I
me
don't
to
know why you're
help?
doing it.
Yeah, like why are you doing?
Yep. Got yourself into this.
18.
You roll. I roll right here, and then I'm gonna pick it up directly and show you what I roll.
Yep.
No chance that I lie. Correct pickup.
Does he have a?
Not turning it. Hold on.
You got
I don't know if
this.
you're gonna be able to see this that well.
What is that?
18.
It is also an
That's
18
Also, Nate.
on the die.
We passed. Player
What is?
passes?
Did they have any additives to?
Of course, it's a used magic item salesman. Of course, he has the
True.
plus to his charisma.
Bro! Ah!
He's gonna look at you and say,
This is
"Hey,
fine.
buddy, I don't know who you think you are, but I own part of this town, and I will not be taking threats lightly. So I suggest you get your arm off me, and I suggest you leave my store."
I'll walk out. You'll be hearing about this as we're walking out. Alright.
Dan, I'd like to enter the store. Act as I don't know them, though.
Yeah,
I'll
Sid,
I'll
Sid,
pass
and,
the
Sid and
message.
Swan.
I'll have cast a message to Flute and told him everything that just happened.
Okay. Give me a sleight of hand check. I'm gonna give you advantage because he's following you
Yeah.
out, so you have a chance to like discreetly point.
Well, I think can't I do it if I know who he is?
You still at the
Yep,
point.
Okay.
It still has the somatic app.
Can I do it through walls?
You can if you
Yeah,
know where.
actually you can. But
Yeah.
you're not sure if this guy has any kind of protection on his shop.
That's fair. That's
This
fair.
is a magic shop.
Then I would want to do it outside,
Mm.
and whether or not it goes through. Actually, no, he would need to know the context of the situation. So we'll do sleight of hand. Sure.
You have advantage.
Sleight of hand. So I got a 13 on the die, plus 3, so 16.
16. Okay.
Not very good.
Not one. Not one.
You rolled low. You cast message. You're trying to be like nonchalant, kind of like, scratching your eyebrow as you're walking out and quickly pointing and casting, or itching your shirt while you're casting real quick. Like, oh, we just came from Seguridad. We have the sickness. That's the angle you should have gone with. Anyway. Go ahead.
Sid is with Swan. And Lady.
So I'm gonna say that Abraham came to you guys and said, "Hey, we need to get going if you guys want to go grab them." And as you're walking in, and as like Swan is going to acknowledge you, Swan, you get a hit of message into your head. Tempest, what do you say?
There's a rod in the back room that I think would be good for X or Atlas. See if you can get the price down. He's lying about everything.
Okay, that helps.
Little helpful.
And you walk past.
Are you sure we want to be like starting trouble when we're gonna be here for? 10
We're leaving
days?
soon.
You're
We're
leaving
gonna be at
this
the next
port.
island.
Leaving.
We're gonna be at the next island for 10 days.
While you're leaving this port, you might not be leaving this island, but you're leaving this port.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I thought we were like coming back to this specific port.
We might, and we might have to.
Meh,
Who knows?
we'll deal with it.
I feel like the immovable rod is a common magic item, which should be like 50 gold, right?
Yeah, he's selling it. He's selling it because the Feitung had it, apparently.
That's
but
also-
if it's a +2 warlock item, if we could get this thing for 50 gold meta, it's probably a steal.
I will let you know that is not worth. The immovable rod itself is not a 50.
Probably is like a 10,000 gold.
No way, I'm pretty sure it's common.
It's not.
I don't
You're
think
thinking
so.
of the expanding rod. The immovable rod is
Yeah.
uncommon.
So,
This
so
guy
like
also-
100 to 200 gold.
This guy also could just be lying. Like, he knows that it's not that, and he knows that
Yeah.
it's not an immovable rod.
That's fair.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, then, does the store have a cloak of billowing?
A cloak of billowing. You want the cloak of billowing again?
I want. Yes, I fucking love it.
Does it have an invisibility cloak?
No.
Yeah.
The
It's a possibility that they would. Marcus, are you with them to go and grab these two?
Yeah, sure.
So you guys walk in. You get that message, and then just kind of like quickly nudge Sid and Marcus, and like, 'cause this guy is distracted for sure, like dealing with Tempest.
I'll tell them he's distracted. Like, how far are they from us?
They're passing you. So like, while you're coming in, they're going out.
I'll just nudge to Sid and Marcus, like with my head, just to go on the side and split off like as far as we can ish from Tempest.
Mhm.
Just so none of you try to talk to Tempest just straight on.
Okay. Yeah. I
If-
think we just like.
If I can, I'll cast message to Sid to just get Lady to not go like if she acts like she knows Tempest.
I'll say that you guys are good. You're good on that.
Okay, we get
He's
it.
focused on those two, and he says, "And don't you ever come back here. I don't ever want to see you within this shop ever again." And kicks them out. And he just says, huh, and he kind of puts his hair back, fixes his collar. How can I help you folks? Sorry about that. That was a little incident that we're going to deal with in the future, but what can I do for all of you?
So wait, are we standing? Is there like a counter between us and this guy, or like?
Now there is. He kind of like walks behind it a bit.
Okay, would he have had line of eyesight with Lady?
I mean, probably a little bit, but not. He wasn't like looking at Lady yet. He hasn't noticed that. He was
Okay.
focused on the situation that was going on in that current moment.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. I got a thing.
Well, good sir, I heard you had some quality goods in here. Heard magic items of many variety. Perhaps maybe, we're quite wealthy. Perhaps maybe some bitters.
Well, you came to the right place then. You are absolutely correct. We sell nothing but the finest quality items in this shop. What
Thought you were
can
gonna
I help
stop.
you find?
That you're gonna stop and just be like, "Ah, yes, we sell nothing."
Nothing.
Now I millennial paused.
Okay, that makes sense.
Well, I'm looking for something of the magical type, looking of something that could be useful in many ways. I don't know if you have recommendations or stuff.
Oh, I have plenty of recommendations. It just kind of depends on what you're actually looking for. So I have, you know what? Come on back with me. Let me show you. And he leads you back into the same room and he says, I have magic items of all kinds. If you're looking for weapons, I've got magic items in these cases here that you can go ahead and take a look at. And he says, no animals and no pets inside of the shop, friend.
Now, she's neither an animal nor a pet, and probably has more gold than I do.
For real?
I ain't lying to you.
Well, all right.
You will address her as lady if you need to address her.
Fair enough. All right. Well, that's my mistake. Lady, I apologize for that. I hope I do not insult you in any way. Now, on to the magic items. Let's take a look here. So, we have magic weapons in the case along the middle here. Over there, you're going to find magic amulets, rings next to them, and if you'll notice, we have a clothing section over there. There's a couple magic clothes in that little section just over yonder.
Ew, fancy.
Marcus goes and runs up.
Yeah.
Sid kind of like bends down and like gives Lady a quick like pat and like says, he like makes it look like he's saying like sorry to her or whatever. And he goes, Lady, I'd like you to try and find me some rats we might be able to play with.
Lady will say, "Ruff," kind of like start looking around like she's perusing the goods. And
See what comes of that.
yeah.
That rod Tempest talked to me about, I'd assume it's in the weapons category.
Who's in the back?
You do not see any magic rods in particular here. So you're looking around, you're just kind of peeking about. And he'll
Okay,
just
no,
like after you're browsing for like a minute, he'll come up again and say, "Now, I see that you're looking at some high quality and very fine magic items here, and all of these are very good. You, sir, I see that you're interested in that cloak of billowing there. That is one of our peak prime items. That is 100 gold for that item."
How many cloak of billowings does he have? in stock right now?
He has 1 cloak of billowing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like you're kind of looking at it, and as you're holding it, it's just kind of doing like a in the wind that is non-existent.
Yeah.
You
I just
also
wanted to, like, wear like 10s of them, and then just all around me, and just
okay. Now you're just becoming a JoJo. Now you are. You weren't before, but
Maybe that's the goal. How dare
Maybe
you
that's
break
the
his
goal.
dream like that?
let me have my balls. I'm going to ball you. 100 gold. That's a bit much for clocks like this, isn't it, friend?
Well, I might be able to come down just for you. Just for you.
Now we're talking.
I could bring it down to 85 gold.
85. You see, it's quite a bit. I'm gonna be honest. Me and my friends here would not really from the highest ranks of society. We still we're still gonna live, So
Well,
maybe
now,
we could-
Marcus, give me a minute. Now,
uh,
I would consider myself someone with the means of, procuring money, procuring items of valuable price, and none of those items I see here really pique my interest. Maybe if I buy something else of the rarer variety, he could perhaps have the cloak with it, or something of the sort.
We'll kind of take a moment to think about that. I think that
Swan's fucking state of dress has to play into this. He looks rich.
I
He
know.
does.
Swan dress as well.
All right. Now listen here. I might be able to do something. Obviously, I don't see you having any interest in the items that are around you. Let me follow me. And he brings you past these beaded curtains that are dusty, that smell bad, that leave streaks on your fingers as you move them out of the way. And he'll say, these items here are magic items that were used by some of the greatest heroes that this world has ever known. Astrogine? We got items from them. Some of the ancient heroes, the ones that they just say that were heroes and saved the world? We've got items from them. Certain heroes from different areas of the world, we have items from them. Including this one group. This one group that had an item that was a rod that they would use in battle, specifically against dragons from what I was told. And their influence on the world was very minuscule. But they saved one area in particular. And this area has revered them and loved them for all time. We have one of their items. This here is an immovable rod.
You're telling me this rod does not move.
If you use it right, it does not.
This
And
could go
how
well
do
in my
how do
collection
you
of
use
some
it
sort,
right?
you see.
Well, it can be all yours for just 10,000 gold.
I'll fake cough and choke whatever the hell.
Oh,
This-
you don't have a cup. You don't have a glass of water, so you can't do the classic water
Fake.
thing. Exactly.
The spit.
This price is phenomenal. Is there perhaps something, something you could do? Now I
No.
see you've... Sid, go ahead.
No, this is rod just works for anybody. Just if I press a button and this button right here on the side of it, if I press that, it stops it from moving.
Now, see, here's the thing. This particular item, it needs to be used by someone who has gained power from above, from one of the big deities, users of
No.
magic, givers of magic in the world.
Do you think I might have that possibility of magic inside of me? And he looks him dead in the eye.
Well, friend, I guess we won't know until you try.
May I?
He gestures towards you.
He grabs the rod and kind of, I think Lady is kind of trailing around the shop a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He grabs the rod and he pushes the button, right? And he goes to like push on it and it doesn't do anything. And I think as he does that and it doesn't move, he trips forward and the rod goes flying forward through the beaded curtain. And Lady picks up the rod.
Heist.
Yabba-dabba-doo.
Heist.
And out the door she goes.
Heist. Heist.
Hey, that dog is stealing my rod.
Oh, look, I gotta get it back for. I'll go get it for you. I'll be right back. I'll make sure I'll get it for you. And Sid goes running after Lady.
He'll run after you as well. He's running with you. And he'll say,
Okay.
Guards, that dog is stealing my rod.
How fast? How fast is this guy? Because Lady has a 50-foot movement speed.
He's not fast enough to keep up with you, but his voice carries.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Damn it. Meanwhile, can I just look over at Marcus and be like,
Rewind.
can I just point at the cloak and be like,
We're stealing from this shop. Poor shopkeeper.
All of those.
Well, no, he deserved
I
it.
want-
It's fine.
I want
Alright.
all of those. They look shiny.
So I'm gonna say you grab the cloak of billowing.
just the
As
cloak,
you're quickly looking at the other magic items to like see if you can take them, you grab like a few that you know like will just work on touching them and work on activation. None of them work except for anyone that is considered common magic items.
Okay.
And then as you like touch those, they like break almost immediately.
God.
The cloak of billowing seems to be one of the only ones that isn't just like shitty quality, because how could you fuck that up?
Dan's gonna say this rod doesn't work. I know it.
We're not done yet.
We're going through
We'll
this whole
see.
heist only for it to not be worth it.
Yes.
Just watch. Just
Okay,
watch.
So
This is
I
great.
imagine
I love
I imagine Tempest and Rhys also see Lady blasting by.
Yeah. Just
Can I
looking.
say, like,
in her mouth.
are we like walking away, and are they gonna like just run right past us?
They are running. It seems that the guy has stopped and he's like catching his breath. But you see that there are guards now who are like coming out from different areas, coming off of their patrols and now coming to where someone is yelling, "Guard, guard, someone is stealing from my shop." You see that there's a mix of like town guard and then also a mix of Imperial Marines now who are starting to move towards the main street.
You started this, Tim.
This is your fault, Tim. Not
This
ours.
is your
Also yours.
fault, Tim. You're the
We-
captain. This
Captain,
is
I
your
will
fault.
take responsibility for this.
We
I mean,
will
worst case
also-
scenario, we get caught and we'd be like, bad dog, and then we give back the rod.
We
Yeah,
will
exactly.
also chase after them, I believe.
Yeah, I think we should all chase after the dog.
Can Marcus stuff the cloak somewhere?
I like to think that as Marcus is running past Tempest, just kind of like throws the cloak and put in the pouch. That's fine.
Among like all the legendary weapons, is there anything that looks like a ball?
No.
No legendary.
You got your cloak,
ball.
don't be
Dan's just
greedy.
not getting it. Yeah, you don't. Can't take more than you can chew.
I can chew balls.
Okay.
What the fuck?
There.
Sorry.
All right.
I mean, mangoes are like a ball, right?
Yeah, they are. So,
True.
the guards start to come out and start to like chase after Lady.
Lady is dashing, so she has 100-foot movement.
Yeah, that's fine. It gets to a point where Lady is heading towards the docks, and now there is a wall of guards that are blocking the main street from the docks.
She's not going. Like, I don't think that she would immediately run like onto the boat either. I mean, she's got a -2 in intelligence, so
Mm-hmm.
not too stupid. But I think she literally just like takes off and keeps running in like a different direction. Like, comes close enough to like where they think they're probably that she's probably gonna hit the docks, but then she fucking like off to the side and keeps going.
Okay. Okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt. But
And I
it's
think
brilliant.
He's got the zoomies.
Oh, hold on.
Marcus.
Ray, I know you have to head out, right?
Sorry. Just
No worries. The VOD will be up on YouTube, so you can catch up.
yeah, I'll do that. Thank you. Thank you everyone for playing, and have a nice rest of the game.
Goodbye.
Yep. Later.
F.
Oh no.
Oh,
What?
Oh no.
Oh
Overlay.
no.
Dream.
You want to stream open then?
What a classic shenanigan fest. Dan did not think this was going to happen when I said, I just want to look at the magic items.
To be fair, I also didn't think that. I thought you were just gonna like look around and you find something that you don't like find nothing.
Well, we
good.
have no gold. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
true.
like we can
We
buy
can
it.
buy this anyways.
I was like, okay, they're gonna find out, like, okay, we'll come back here.
Yeah. Nope. We're never coming back.
Yeah, the price is also not far off from what it actually is. Just
Yes,
so you know.
well, when I found out it was a +2 warlock item, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Shenanigans time.
This is expensive.
I think that Lady is gonna try and dip down like a side
Doors.
alley, basically. Actually, is there like? So I imagine this is kind of like a little self-sustaining community, right?
Mhm.
And I think that is there like a pig pen or something like that when she like is running through the town? Is there like a pig like on the outskirts maybe? Because I imagine like near the docks, like it's kind of near the edge, and if she continues running along the edge, like does she get to kind of more where there are like people keeping animals, where it's like not in the forest? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so.
Like next to a slaughterhouse or something.
Yeah. Something like that.
I think she immediately, like when she sees that, she like hops the fence and rolls around on the ground, like covers herself in mud.
Can you give me an intelligence check for Lady?
Sure.
-1. -1.
-1.
Was that a crit?
Oh,
That's a crit. So an 18.
Chaos. Chaos.
Lady
Okay.
grabbing this stick is like big brain, jump in mud.
mud.
All right. I want you to make a stealth check. This is going to make it now. So this is a stealth check for Lady.
Mhm.
This is going to give the guards a disadvantage on their
Investigation.
on their investigation. And then while that's happening, we're going to be cutting back to you guys as Lady kind of darts off down the alleyway.
Okay. Let's see what her stealth is. +4 stealth. 16.
+4 stealth. Dan was not expecting that.
I just
Lady has her own character sheet.
I just roll above 10. Could I please just roll above 10? Please just let me
Oh,
roll
he did
above
not
10.
No.
roll above 10.
No.
Dan, you want us to have this stupid magic item you didn't think we were gonna have. You know it.
Plus, the
I mean, to
character
be
who can
fair-
actually use it isn't going to be playing for another 2 months.
He's
he
coming
won't
back
know he
next
has
year.
it. Yeah, he's not gonna know that he has it.
Okay. They seem to lose Lady. Blood, because they rolled 6. That is a 3 on the die. And the high
Phenomenal.
roll was a 7.
Mm,
Lady disappeared in the mud.
Idiots. Guards are idiots.
Are you able to communicate with Lady telepathically?
No.
Okay. Sick.
So what are
Okay.
we doing?
We're
So-
searching for Lady because we're trying to help.
Yeah, we're
As
trying to
you're all-
help look for the dog.
As you're all kind of like running to like catch up to where Lady is, the shopkeep is behind you guys, like trying to keep up the best that he can. It seems that he has like a movement of pretty guess statistically.
All right.
And he says, guards, the dog was with these folks here. I think that one owns it.
Now, calm down. We're chasing the dog too. She just ran away.
Sid looks distraught. And you can make me roll for
I,
that.
I go into Sid's bag and I'd be like, we've been having issues with the dog's behavior, and I pull out the animal handling book.
Oh!
Yes!
Yeah!
Yeah!
Holy
Big brain! Big brain!
You and lady together.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Sid looks distraught and goes, I've been trying so hard. I'm sorry. She just sometimes she gets going and she doesn't stop. You know, I think she's got a bit of greyhound in her.
I need you to roll a deception with advantage.
That's good because I'm not super great at those. 12.
Okay. So for once I rolled really well. The shopkeep will say, you let your dog off a leash and you let your dog just kind of walk around, but you don't want to take care of it. You let it walk in my shop. You convinced me that it was fine and that it had money by itself and that it was a dog that was sentient of some kind. Listen, we live in a world where that's possible, okay, pal? If you're going to tell me that that dog didn't know exactly what it was doing, then I think that you think that I'm a fool.
Wait. There's guards standing here listening to us?
Yeah.
Now, Sid looks at them and he goes, now, this man's saying I told him that the dog was sentient? It's a dog.
Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss.
You're gonna tell me that this is my whole ruse is the dog was sentient and that it had, let me get this right, money?
One of the guards is going to pull the shopkeep off to the side. Do any of you have, like, keen hearing of any kind?
Not yet.
I don't have anything called that.
Or, like, a way to hear nicely? Because they're talking in a whispered, hushed tone, where you
My
are
past
not able to hear
perception
them.
is 17.
We'll see. We'll see if we need
Pretty good.
Not really.
No.
No? Okay. Sid, give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Okay. +7, here we go, baby. Disadvantage?
Yeah.
19.
Okay.
I rolled an 18 and a 12.
You hear the, like, hushed bits of this conversation. You're, like, concentrating really hard. A couple of the other guards are, like, standing around you now, just, like, watching you, just to...
Never mind. Don't talk.
To make sure that none of you, like, run, but, like, they're not, like, arresting you or anything yet. And the one guard that pulls the shopkeep off to the side will say, now, listen, boss, like, it's kind of unbelievable that you would think that a dog would have money. And the shopkeep will say, now, listen, I agree with you, but we live in a world that's weird, okay? And I was just trying to make a sale. It's not necessarily that I believed them, but I thought, hey, you know what? If this helps me sell a couple things, then that's fine. And the more I sell, the more you guys get in your pockets, huh? And the guard will say, sure, all right, fine. So what do you want us to do about this? He said, I want you to arrest them until the dog comes back with that rod, because that's one of the few things that's real. And the guard will say, okay, I guess, yeah, fine, we'll do it. The guard will come back and say, all right, until that dog comes back with that item that got lost, we're gonna have to place all of you under arrest.
Now, how am I gonna get the dog?
We're gonna try and locate it. We're gonna track it down, and then we're gonna get the item back, and we'll see what your punishment will be from there.
Now, do you think my dog, who's clearly on a run, is gonna come back and be distraught and maybe not want to interact with any of you? You think it's gonna be why don't I help you find the dog? We'll walk around with you.
Fine, but you're gonna have to wear
follow
these.
us where we need to go.
You're gonna have to wear these, and he holds up shackles.
What type of metal is it made of?
It seems to be steel.
Shit, fuck.
Now, look, I wanna give you a gesture of goodwill. Sure, you can manacle me. It's my dog. And he holds out his wrist.
Then I'd like to hold out my wrist too, but with like my thumbs like under as I'm doing it, so it's not like my entire width of hand that gets shackled. So I have a bit of
No. This man had nothing to do with it. It's my dog, and I think it's fair. I'll take whatever punishment you decide to give me.
Well, now, thank you. I didn't want to get.
You know what?
tangled.
Actually, to be fair, Tempest and Rhys, you're not there.
I was
You're
going to say
behind
that.
them.
I was
You're
gonna say-
watching
we're-
this unfold,
Yes.
but you're actually not in this group.
I was going to say we wouldn't be because
Yeah.
that dude knows us from the initial interaction. If we were all
Yeah.
together, there would be some shenanigans. So
Yeah.
Well, you two, we're gonna have to take to jail. That'll be our. That's the only stipulate. We'll take you. He points to Sid. But if we take you, these two go to jail until we get that back, and then we're gonna have to
And that's
decide.
Swan and Marcus.
Yeah, pointing to Swan and Mark.
Cool.
Should
cool.
you and I try to go find Lady first?
What if we found Lady and replaced the rod with like a wooden stick? And then Lady comes back and has like a wooden stick, and the guards are like, "Is this dude dumb? The dog just has a stick." That might be a funny plan, but then they would go looking for the rod.
You don't want to get found though, because if the guy
Yeah,
from the shop spots you, you're fucked.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll go to manacle you, Sid. They do not manacle you with your hands in the front though. They manacle them behind you.
Both of us, all of us.
They
Sid gets manacled and we just walk with them.
no, they're bringing you and Marcus to jail.
Damn.
Yeah.
So they're
Throwing the rich one in prison.
they're
That's
doing it
amazing.
from behind us. Hold up. Hold up.
Is there anything that can be done right now?
Do you have sorry, Tim, do you have any kind of like magic ability that someone has like cast illusion, right?
Here, you guys talk about what you want to do. This is the
All right.
setup. Swan and Marcus are going to jail. Rhys and Tempest, you are outside of this, just kind of like watching from the outside. Sid, you are being manacled and led away by guards to follow the path that Lady took. While you're
How
doing
many are
that,
following me?
there are going to be 5 that are going to follow you.
Wow,
These guards seem bored.
that's racist.
While you're doing that, I just need to go check downstairs. You've been doing.
Okay.
Oh, hell.
All right. So potential
Harry is-
things.
Harry is very upset that they aren't here because they have cast heat metal.
That would be good.
I have heat metal too.
So I have suggestion. We could try
Yeah.
bribing the guards because these guards are clearly on the take already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We
Do
could
we all
go
know
find
that-
other guards and inform them on what's going on, but we don't really know who's on the take.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Suggestion might work
On one.
on one, but I might, like, as they get further away, I might run up and be like, "Oh, so and so said that they found the rod, and we can let them go." And I'll say so and so. It's the keeper of the shop,
Yeah.
right? And I could do
I have
suggestion
a
on the
little
one,
concerns.
and the one would be like, "Oh, okay, we should let them go."
I have concerns about like doing it like quickly, like right off the bat.
Yes. Well, we'd have to be far enough away,
Yeah.
you know.
As you're talking about how money like seems to really motivate them, the guards don't know. The guards bringing me and Marcus don't really know me. So if you just don't want us to get caught, I can probably just talk to them into either not shackling us or like something.
I'll
going
be able
out
to
grab
communicate with
money.
you through message.
Yeah,
right?
same actually.
Yeah.
Do I need to play to?
You need to
cast anything?
point.
Yeah, but bard things. Do I need to?
Yeah. I don't know. So
No.
one of there's specific components that are needed. You can flavor it with your.
It's just somatic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't have any component. It's just somatic. So you just need a
I
point.
think you need a piece of copper wire.
True.
I think that's message, but that's getting into the minutia of the magic.
Yeah.
Does anyone have an illusion cast?
I have no illusion spells.
Nothing.
I
Because that would
instead of
make it
getting
so
minor
easy if we
illusion, I
had-
got message.
I could
If
have.
we had an illusion spell and someone was with us with an illusion spell, they can just cast illusion on like a stick, take the real one, swap the illusion one out, and have it all get sorted out within the time of the illusion.
That's a great idea.
I decided
If
to
we
It would
could
have
do
been a
it.
smart idea.
Wait, do we have the invisibility dude? Is that Sid? Or is that someone? Is that like Atlas? Makes people invisible.
I think that's
Perry.
Atlas. Oh,
Perry.
Harry
Yeah.
and
Perry's the one
Atlas.
we often like make go invisible, right?
Harry, we made go invisible because he's a
Racism.
halfling. Yeah, because of racism.
Because
Atlas has invisible.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think Sid's thing, he just has to look like he's complying. You know what I mean?
Kind of
How
stuck
many
between
guards-
a rock and a hard place because he has decided to do this.
That's
me
fine.
and
We'll
Ray-
figure it out. We'll just go
Figure it
to
out.
prison.
I blamed him.
All right.
Yeah. What is Daddy? You gonna just leave us in prison?
We'll just go get
Daddy just
jacked.
gonna leave us in prison?
We're just gonna get jacked in prison. All right. We'll just do a
Me
lot of
and Ray, how
push-ups.
many-
Do you know
How
who
many
we are?
guards?
Do you know who our dad is? It's Captain Abram.
Oh, you
How
mean
many
the
guards are with
pirate
me and
wanted?
Ray,
Okay,
Dan?
cool. Let's go sink his
Dan,
ship
I
in the
wanna
harbor.
know how many guards are there, Dan,
They
How
would
many
not
guards?
be able to.
with me and Ray.
So you and Marcus have another 5 on you. This seems to be like all the active guards that are.
What was the name of the guy who was in charge of the shop?
You didn't get his name.
He would. Yeah, I think he would have said his name when we walked in.
He didn't.
Okay.
He just said, "Hey, what's up?" Pretty much.
Just Ralph.
Does the guard who talked to the guy, the guard who talked to the shopkeeper, is he with Sid or me and Marcus?
Seems to be with Sid.
Okay. That's all I wanted to.
Sure.
What are the guards wearing?
They seem to be wearing chainmail.
Mm.
So there's
Armored
like there's like
disguise.
4 town guards and then there's 6 imperial soldiers.
The
They're all
town
on
guard was the one that was talking to the guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How many Imperials and how many town guards are with Sid?
I'm gonna say it's 3 town guard, 2 imperials, and then the other imperials.
Well, we get 4 Imperials in one town. Oh, we got the Popo.
You got the Marines. The National Guard came in and was like, "Yeah, no, we're taking over here."
Are they wearing stupid hats?
The Marines are, yeah.
Okay, cool. just to set the scene.
Okay. If I can, then
They're a bunch
I
of
would like
catch-ups.
to. The shackles were they put on by town or?
To be fair, Sid is the only one who knows what he heard.
True. Don't worry.
Everybody else doesn't know the
That's fair.
conversation.
That's fair.
Were the shackles put by town guards or imperial guards?
It seemed to be the town guard that put the shackles on you.
Okay, good, thanks. Going to jail now.
So are you trying to do that thing where you're tucking the thumbs?
I would like, but if it like just doesn't work, I would like to. I don't know what's better. I'm considering my options here. Should I just like complain the whole way, being like, "You guys could do something about this, please? Come on, I have nothing to do with this," or I go the route of I can get myself out, which is not that great of a route.
I
Whatever
know
you wanna
what
do.
I know what we're gonna do. If you can't talk your way out of this,
That's gonna be my first option. That was.
I'm gonna come in and try to use suggestion. And
Okay.
if that doesn't work,
I mean, I
Right.
don't
Just
know.
beat him up.
no, I'm gonna cast a second level fog cloud, and Rhys can come in with his blind sense.
And beat him up.
And get us out. And get us out.
I'm just gonna knock everyone unconscious and then run.
I
Dan,
feel like
we
having
never said we were
full-on
good
com-
people.
I feel like
Oh, I
having
know you're
full-on
not good
combat
people,
in
but-
a
We're
town
pirates.
isn't
What did you
smart.
think was gonna happen?
Listen, I'm not shocked that you're doing this. I'm just blown away at the
disappointed.
He's
fact.
not mad. He's disappointed.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good way to point it. That's
How can you be disappointed in this? This is good.
It's fun.
Making our way then, I'd like to whisper to the town guard who put the shackles on me and be like, "Well, good sir, come on, we really didn't have anything to do with that dog. Could you at least, I don't know, maybe not remove them completely, but loosen them a little bit? We're not gonna run away. I have people that I care about and I need to, you know, as you can see, quite a bit of wealth on my person, so I need to, you know,
Give
things
me
to
a persuasion check.
That's a D20.
Yeah, he doesn't fail those.
19.
The guard will just say, "All right, listen, man. Like, I'm following orders. Okay. I'll loosen your shackles a bit if it's uncomfortable. All right, but that's about all I can do."
Well, if you, me and my friend, he's accompanying me on this trip, but if just for me, then I'll take it. But if you can,
Fine. Sure. And he'll loosen yours and Marcus's shackles just a little bit. No, it's just so that it's like you can move your wrists around, but you can't like slip out.
yeah, no, something.
Where did you say Abraham went?
Abraham's currently on the Luxmaris's revenge, like
Waiting for us.
waiting for all of
for
you.
us.
Yeah, he's like waiting for us to like come back.
Yeah,
so he
that's
can
right,
take
that's
us
right.
over.
We went to jail.
Yeah, he looked away from us for like 2 minutes, and then we're like stealing something, and 2 of us are in prison. I don't know if you'd be disappointed at us or proud.
I think proud.
Yeah.
Okay.
Little column A, little column B.
Yeah,
Both.
I think Sid leads the guards on like a wild goose chase, just like all over the place. Like he's just kind of like aimlessly wandering, calling for Lady. No purpose, like no purposeful direction. He's yelling like loudly.
Would Lady come to look for you if she heard?
I don't think so, because we've already established that this is a ruse, and in this campaign, we've already done dumb ruses between Sid and Lady. And like, if Sid is just like,
trip and run situation.
yeah,
They've run this gag.
I don't think they've done it a lot, but like,
Enough.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you're just kind of going around aimlessly, calling out. Marcus and Swan are almost at the jail. Rhys and Tempest.
Rhys, what do you think about that?
I had left, so I don't know if I.
No,
caught
so
everything about
I
the
was
plan.
gonna go try suggestion
On the
And-
guards with Marcus, or
on the guards with Marcus and Swan and try to get them to let them go. And if that didn't work, I was going to cast Fog Cloud, and then you could come in, grab us, and pull us out.
okay. I mean, I can't really think of much else because I
Yeah.
don't really have anything fun or like big brain and fancy to do. Besides, like, threaten them, maybe. Or intimidate. That's really
so-
it.
As you guys are deliberating and as all this is happening, like a decent amount of time has passed at this point. Aiden going to run up towards you guys.
Ooh. Oh my god.
And
I have a tent in my backpack. I'm gonna grab one of the rods from the tent. Oh my god.
Big brain, oh my god.
Tent rod.
Yeah, Dan. Yeah.
Come
I'm
on.
gonna use that in suggestion and be like, I got the rod. I have a 2-person tent in my archaeologist backpack.
anyway,
Oh
Alright.
man.
Just be able to do this, come on.
Yeah, you could just convince somebody to tell them that they got the rod from the dog, and the dog ran off.
Yes.
I mean, okay, so this is
Poof.
no, like my mouse cursor is just back now. Like this is what the rod
Mm-hmm.
in general.
Do the guards know that though?
I don't know.
The guards just know that it's a rod.
To be fair, when I heard rod, I thought it was also just like a regular metal rod.
The shopkeeper could have told them like what it looked like.
That's
look
true.
He-
That's true.
So Aiden's gonna run up to you guys and like notice that you're kind of like tucked behind some like barrels on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And he'll kind of come up quietly and say, "What's going on?"
We're in a situation.
Oh,
We-
what happened?
We've got a pineapple situation going on.
Oh, it's not good.
Yeah, it's not good.
Right.
I didn't know we had code
I
fruit.
just
What?
made that up.
He's just going along with it. And he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
all right."
Oh,
It's not
man.
good.
He's just like, oh, that's bad. Okay.
Okay. You want me to go back in there?
Yeah, get the
Yep.
ship ready.
Right. I'll Here's Captain Abraham. What do you think?
No, I think we should be okay. We just want to have a speedy exit.
Right. All right. Right.
Okay. And he'll run back to the ship. Kind of like
Before he leaves him, like I give him like a strong like pat on the back, like you got this. Just a little ego boost in order to.
Atlas
Help
still
him go.
micromanaging the shit out of him.
Yeah,
looking-
it's like
Go on, keep going.
it's just after the whole time of Atlas just being like, you're so terrible at this. It's just like you're doing good. Good job. You got this.
good job, kid. All right,
Uh-huh.
he'll run back.
Looking at these guards, do they seem smart? Do they seem like intelligent people?
Um, look at
No
a
way.
cop. Tell me, do they look intelligent?
What?
They're guards.
If you were to rate their intelligence on a scale of 1 to 20, what would I think it would be in this moment right now?
Would it be the same as my dog?
Yes.
On a scale of 1 to 20, the same as my dog.
I don't know. That's a specific fighter ability. I'm not gonna. They seem smart enough to do their job decently.
Hmm,
Not even good. They do it decently.
hmm.
F.
Okay, that's fine. I'll go and I'll do that thing anyway. Feel like wisdom would be a good saving throw for this one, hopefully. So, I'm gonna. Hold up. I need to look at some verbiage.
Also, Den,
Hmm?
sorry, but also not sorry for whatever plan you might have had.
For what
us.
today's session was going to be. I mean, the
Yeah, what
title
you had
makes
planned.
no sense now, so.
Yeah.
Well,
Um.
suffer.
Get fucked, man.
Can I use shape water to freeze a like spiral and then a big sphere on the top of this rod from my tent? Because if I can freeze a 5-foot by 5-foot cube
Of ice?
of ice,
Oh my
in
god.
my cantrip, could I
You've
Cast
seen the
illusion
rod.
without actually
I've
casting
seen the rod. Could I
illusion.
try to make? No, that's fine. I feel like that would be too
Oh, come
like
on.
intricate of a thing to make as opposed to just freezing a cube of water. That's fair. I'll I'll take that. I mean, yeah. So I'll just run up.
Or do you have like a rock and then like rope or something?
I have a rock, but I
The whole
think
country?
the rock is special. It was given to me by my good friend, Sid McCoy. So I can't just.
I just didn't know
Okay.
if you had like a rock type thing that you don't want to like obviously don't want to get rid of,
Now,
or if
would
there's rocks on
Sid
the
be-
ground that
wo-
you could like use rope and put a rock, tie it
would
with some rope
Sid
on
be
the stick.
happy? Would Sid be happy if you used the rock? Save everyone's life.
Well, there would need to be more stuff going on.
Yeah, no, it could be useful in the future. I forgot
yeah.
about that.
So
I do appreciate this conjecture about what Sid would like and would not like about this random rock he handed you at one point.
in the first session, I'm gonna run up and cast suggestion and be like, guards. I think they found it. And these guys can be let go. And I'm gonna say that to whichever guard seems to be in charge here.
Sure. Can you do me a favor?
Yes.
In the campaign Bible,
Oh god.
Oh no.
Oh god.
can you do me a because you're casting this on the guards specifically?
Yes.
Can you go and read what
Why
the
are you
demographic
scared,
is
Tim?
on that? On this
What do you mean?
island?
What island? We're on Elfsheim?
Alzone.
Elves. Yeah. They have advantage on charms, right?
Yeah.
Or immunity. Advantage?
Advantage, I think. I think half elf is advantage. is it immunity?
No. No.
I thought
I don't think
half
it-
elves had that.
I don't think so. I thought that was just full elves. You can't be put to sleep, and you have an advantage on charms to do that.
You have advantage on saving throws against being charmed, comma,
Oh, okay.
and magic can't put you to
Okay.
sleep.
Okay.
So they do have advantage on this if you were to cast it on the guard. I will allow a very quick nature check as you're running up to these guards.
All right.
It's going to be at disadvantage because it's on the fly.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm terrified.
Which die do I use? Is the big one. Nature. $15.
You realize as you're going to quickly cast the spell, where you're like reaching out, like to kind of like get their attention as the spell is being cast, that the guard, like the city guard, is a half elf, and you quickly adjust the direction of it.
Okay.
So,
You hit the nearest farmer.
cast it on one of the Imperials. Imperials are racist as fuck. They only have humans and dwarves within their ranks.
They're gonna hate these dumb city guards anyway. So, what you roll? Was it really high?
Can I roll above a 10? Can I roll above? Please roll above a 10.
Not roll above a 10.
You need to get higher than that to save. So.
Oh no shit! Really?
So,
You got a 6. You fuck.
all right. They found the rod.
This one will say,
We're
the
supposed
one
to
that you
let them
cast the
go.
spell on will say, all right, where was it?
I think the dog had like left it by some tree and picked up a stick. I don't know.
Okay. You two stay here with them. He points at the guard and one of the soldiers. We're gonna go check that out, and 3 of them fuck off and go in the direction of like where you're kind of pointing.
Okay, once they're like out of sight, I'm gonna be making like small talk. Like, do you guys come here often? Do you often like?
Do
Thing
we
that
often
happens-
arrest people? I mean,
arrest people?
not really. Like, we put the occasional drunk in jail for the
Innocent
night.
bystanders, like, around when things happen, do you just arrest people all the time for that?
I mean, not all the time. It's just occasionally.
Occasionally? Oh, that's.
I mean, like, come on.
In
Like,
jail, Reggie!
did you see what happened? Like,
They're real assholes!
I mean, I had been in there earlier that day and kind of walked out and saw this whole commotion and this dog just kind of run out of there, and I was just kind of watching what was going on. So I went to go help, find the rod, and then saw everything happen. Yeah.
all right, well, I guess we'll just see. So, where did you do that? Like, did you fasten the thing to the tent rod? Did you do
No.
all that?
No,
Okay.
no. I just said that somebody found it back there.
Okay. I mean, they're going to look. So,
Well, so once they're out of reach, so how many are here right now?
2.
2?
Oh,
This is not working as planned, my
Well,
friend.
no, this is working perfectly. Rhys, you remember if the fog cloud happened, you would come in, right? Fog
You would
cloud.
see through the fog anyway, so.
okay.
Yeah,
So I
can
need
see
to
through
check
fog.
something here.
All right.
Fog cloud.
I think it just obscures your vision and you have disadvantage.
There's verbal and
effectively-
somatic. So how are you casting this in such a way that it doesn't seem casting it?
I start screaming in the cell.
No, I know. I'm gonna be like,
You're not in there yet.
so I'm gonna say I'm not from here. There's this saying that we have in my native language.
You're just expecting this dude is racist enough to just believe that Genasi
And
just
in
fucking saved-
Aquin, I start casting this spell.
Okay.
I'll be like, dude, today's been fucking crazy. There's this saying for days like this that we have, my native tongue. I don't know how well it translates, and then I'll just say it in Aquin, and I'll cast this.
Just gurgle some water.
Yeah.
Oh.
He'll say, "That's nice." I didn't think there was going to be fog today. The clouds were kind of hanging high. Actually, there wasn't really any cloud cover to begin with, and then like it just gets completely cloudy around you.
All right.
You just hear
How
the
clo-
cracking
how
of
close
knuckles.
you just. How far am I away from all of this happening? I wouldn't think I was too far off.
Oh, you're like right there.
Yeah.
I'm right there. Okay.
Use your raider spirit.
I have to.
That'll
get
allow you to see.
That'll give you blind sight. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get used to using the like the downloaded version of the the sheet.
You don't have to. You don't have to anymore. Good.
True.
Oh,
You fixed the
Did you
problem.
re-up your subscription?
So when I didn't run out of the month that I had paid for.
Wizards will either go down or Hasbro will have more
They
respect.
either need to make 6th edition a good game, or they're going to fail.
yeah.
And it can't be 5th edition now because everything else is going to be compatible with 5th edition now.
I
Yep.
will use Raider Spirit, and then, oh god, it's either I'm either gonna thinking of knocking the guards out, but I feel like that's also like not good.
Did these guards seem hardy?
I mean, they seem like
I would assume because they're guards, they would have at least some.
stamina. I mean,
kind of-
these are soldiers. These are soldiers and one guard.
Yeah.
It's one soldier, one guard. So, something to keep in mind. It might not. You might not be able to do this in like one round.
So one is dumb and the other is dumber?
I think that is a good description.
I feel like it is.
Dan, do bards need to play their instrument to
No,
do the thing?
they do not. That's one of the ways that you channel your magic, but it's not the only way.
What does it? It's not the only. It means I can do it in another way if I need to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a
Um,
Like
horrifying-
humming.
On a scale of 1 to 0, how shatterable seems the cage?
You're not in
You're
the jail
not
cell
in-
yet.
Are-
You're
you're not
outside
in-
still.
We're not in.
Yeah.
We're still outside.
Yeah,
bro,
no,
they are.
you're still outside.
They're sleeping on the job. Okay, fine.
Are you going to make them sleep on the job?
We can make them sleep on the job.
mean,
but
does
can't
anyone
see
know
shit
sleep?
right now. I don't know sleep. I can't actually make them sleep.
Can.
I was asleep.
MD.
I do not know sleep.
Well, how are we doing this?
Yeah, what happens after the fog cloud?
So my thought
I
was
stopped it just in case Flute
Maybe
had
Rob.
something, yeah.
Mhm.
I can if you don't have anything, I could probably grab just go into
Honestly,
the fog cloud.
there are 4 of us. If we all attacked, these guys would probably be done in 1 round.
I don't know if Marcus has the ability to attack with his shackles.
He could kick.
Like I know they got the list. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll run Marcus for this, for the purpose.
Even I don't know. Like, would you say that the shackles are loose enough so I have wrist movement for casting them?
You got them loosened.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did get them
Loose
loosened.
enough for cast. And also, is it rigid shackles or is it chain shackles?
They
It's
are
not
chain.
like the hands. I think it's just the around the wrist.
Yeah, so it's cuffs around the wrist and a chain.
Okay, it's chain. Okay, it's not like a rigid freaking.
Oh yeah.
Stock.
All right. So, at this point, as you kind of go in to do this, we're going to roll initiative.
Sure.
Make this fast.
All right.
Beat the
I
hell out
rolled
of them.
1.
I got an
5.
8.
16.
You rolled an 8, Rhys?
Not real great, all things considered.
It's so bad.
So if you guys all go after the guards don't know you're attacking.
That's true. They have no idea what's
No.
going on. It's just fun.
Well, so here's the thing. You guys have a surprise round.
All right.
So you are all going to get a round of combat in before they will get their turn.
Also, remember, nobody can see them
Yeah.
except for
I can't
Rhys, who has blind sight.
Can't
So
see
that
them.
gets rid of any spell that.
Requires sight.
Yes.
Oh, very
Um,
interesting.
25 to 20. 20 to 15.
16.
15 to 10. And Rhys, you hadn't. Tempest, you had
Correct.
a 1.
6.
Oh.
But it's a 1. I have +5. Oh.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, mine would be higher. I forgot to add the initiative to it. My bad. Would be a 10. That still don't help.
It'll help more than you think.
Probably makes you go before in combat when we go in. Yeah.
Okay, Swan, you're up first. Keep in mind, you cannot see anything. You do not know, like, what's going on specifically around you.
Okay. Anything that I don't need to see. Wait, would I remember where the guards were? I was being escorted, like.
Still needs to be a creature you can see
Yeah,
specifically.
Okay.
You'd have disadvantage, but you could make sense like, oh, I'm gonna shoot in this direction, right?
Yeah. Like, Shatter says, a point of your choice within range.
Fucking shatter.
Yeah, does say that, doesn't it?
You gonna shatter everybody's.
I'm gonna shatter around me.
Ooh,
Oh
okay.
god.
But like, it's.
You know that's a really loud noise too, right?
Yeah.
Your character would know that's a really loud noise.
Yeah, I've used it before. Have I? I haven't.
I would say that
I?
you know enough
you
about
did.
the spells that you take and that you
Yeah.
prepare that you would know that it is.
Yeah, probably. But then I can't use that.
But are you sure you want to make a lot of noise?
Now, what
Oh,
if I. Ooh, this could be good. We have a surprise round, right?
Yes.
yeah.
I would like to cast Fairy Fire at my.
Okay.
That's a dexterity check from everyone, right?
That's fine.
In the area of 20-foot cube around me. So,
yes,
like.
that would be
Everyone.
yeah, which is fine.
Wait.
All right, go ahead and make that dex save, everyone.
Except for Sid. Sid is off just yelling, "Lady! Lady!"
Dex save is D20 again, correct?
Correct.
D20 plus Dex
Alright,
save modifier.
red die.
What is your spell save?
Wait, Tim did the recap today. Does he get an inspiration?
True. And it is 15, the Dex save.
What does inspiration get me?
You get to reroll 1d20.
Marcus failed.
That's
Mm,
fine. Marcus will be fine.
Probably.
I got a 20.
Hold up. Give me a sec here. I
The one
guess,
guard got a
you know-
19 and soldier failed.
You know what? We're all in.
Got a 17.
Now, I also failed. I got a 11. But would the guards instantly go for me and Marcus if we don't attack him?
They wouldn't really know what's going. They don't really know what's going on right now.
Yeah.
For all they know, I cast this. Like, the fire came from something else.
The
They
fire
don't see
came
you
from
doing it.
somewhere. From who? They don't know.
So me and Marcus both failed, but it's the two guys they knew were there that are highlighted.
Sure.
So that's fine by me. I'm happy with that. And bonus action will be cry. No, actually, wait. I can't. Do I need to see
use
for
of a bonus action.
inspiration?
The cry phase.
As a bonus action, a creature other than you within 60 feet that can hear you.
Ooh.
That's fun.
What would you be saying?
Say something funny.
Can it be anything?
What are you casting?
Bardic
using?
inspiration. Oh, does
So
that have
what
to
would
be
you
music?
say that would inspire your friends without letting them know, without letting the guard and the soldier know that you're inspiring your friend?
Oh. Oh. Okay. He goes. Whatever this tempest may be, it seems very strong and powerful.
Ooh.
Big
Okay.
brain. Big brain.
That is really
Tempest.
good.
Tempest, you have a
It's really
D6
good.
of Bardic Inspiration.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, mark that down. Okay, then up next in combat, because of the surprise round, is going to be Rhys.
Cool. I will use,
Oh,
like I said, the Raider Spirit in order to see into the fog. And I will.
Go
Do I want to murder them or not? I could.
Yes. Yeah.
Murder? We go murder? We go
Yes.
murder. Okay.
I'll bury
I'll-
them with my cantrip.
I will use. Can I tell, like, because I can see in the fog? Can I tell which guard is who?
Does
Uh,
any guard?
One of
One
them is
failed
lit
and
up.
the other didn't.
One of them is what?
failed.
Lit up. So you,
Okay.
you can kind of like you can't
But
really
you
tell
can
them
see
apart with
both.
your blind sight, but like
Okay.
you know that there are two in front of you. One of them you're gonna have advantage on hitting.
I want to take my hand axe onto the one I have advantage over.
Okay.
Because
Are you using your hand axe specifically, or do you want to use a?
Would you not have advantage on both? Because
No.
they can't see you, but you can see them.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't see the attack coming?
No, they would have disadvantage on attacks just made. They don't have
Okay. Okay.
advantage attacks again.
Interesting. Sweet.
Okay, go ahead and give me that attack roll with advantage.
Does 1d6 plus 5?
Does Fair Fire do damage?
No.
Okay.
That's a 9. There we go. There's a 4 plus 5.
The hit.
Oh, that was hit.
So
Sorry,
D20
wrong
plus
thing.
your attack
Wrong
modifier.
thing. I did the damage
You
one
did
first.
damage. Okay, so keep that
Whoops.
damage. We'll see if you crit or not.
I did not.
You have two
You
D20
piece
that
of
you
shit.
roll.
That was one of them. Ah, shoot. One of them was a 6. The other one was a 14.
Okay, so 14 plus your modifier, right? You have
14.
not added your modifier yet.
I have not, no.
Okay, that one will hit then. So you deal 9 damage to that one, to the guard, the one that was.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you get that attack off, no problem.
Murder.
They are still
Action
conscious. though.
surge.
Oh, I
They're
do
still
have that,
conscious.
you're right. I don't know
So-
if I.
Can
Already
kill
used your
them.
bonus action. Action.
Yeah. I was just. I don't remember if we had this short rest in between the last time I used, like, action surge. Just
Yeah.
for
Oh, yeah.
future
Oh
note.
yeah. Okay, so you're using action surge. Got it.
You have a problem with me actually getting better at doing this? Alright, I see how it is.
No.
Insert goofy, I'll do it again meme.
Fucking do it again.
So using action surge, I will attack again.
Okay, same guy.
Same guy.
Gotcha.
Since
Go
I'm
for it.
You just straight up axe murdering these guys.
Yeah, why not? I can.
They're corrupt
Uh,
cops.
ACAB.
A
One.
cab in general. Yeah.
2D the I need to change out my d20s. A 10 and 11.
With your modifiers? Or on the
Not
die?
with modifiers yet.
Okay. And what are your modifiers?
This is strength, correct?
Yeah.
So it's gonna. You have a
Strength
specific
plus
attack bonus. It's going to be.
Oh, that's a. S-
You're using hand axe. It's gonna be. Come on, load in, please. +7. So
yeah. So
18. That'll hit.
yes, 18. I need to get a different 20 though for next time. The other one is 7 damage.
Okay, you kill that.
Did you
one
make your 2
outright.
attacks?
Dead.
Did you make? Did you make
They
2
don't have
attacks?
extra attack yet.
At level
You guys are-
5?
You guys are level 4.
Oh, duh. In my campaign, everybody's level 5. All right.
So
Dude, we're gonna
close.
steal this wand and now be fucking level 5. It's so cool. So cool that Dan's gonna do that for us.
Honestly, it's so nice.
Hmm.
So nice of him.
Roll a persuasion check. IRL. IRL persuasion check? No. What's the DM stats?
Whose turn
the
is it?
DM's stats.
Who's
Okay.
lit up by fairy fire?
The dead guy.
The dead guy, Marcus,
One
and
collapsed.
and one.
Yo, when I see his body drop, can I drop concentration? Like the moment I see him like
Sure.
pass out, I drop it.
Because you can just drop concentration in it.
Yeah, I don't want the other guard to be like, "What the fuck?"
So the guard and the soldier, their turns are skipped. Obviously, one of them's turn is very skipped. Because they're dead.
Forever.
Skipped forever. So now it's Marcus's turn. Marcus is gonna run up and just like bicycle kick this guy. Marcus, come on, my guy. I'm rolling for you. and That's
Flurry of
shitty.
blows.
That is only going to be a 15, and that will miss.
You can do this twice more.
Flurry of blows.
Yeah.
That's the same number. And they both miss. Son of a bitch.
Tempest, I hope you're just gonna give this guy a shallow early grave.
Alright, Tempest, it's your turn. You don't see anyone at this point. No one is lit up anymore.
Oh, whoopsies.
Well, no, like, you don't see your allies, but you never saw this enemy because this enemy didn't have anything.
Yeah, but now you
Pass
might
the-
hit us.
Pass
Okay.
the vibe check.
I'm gonna say, oh my god, what's happening? Are we being robbed? And then I'm gonna shoot a second level, or no, just a chromatic orb at the guard.
Okay, give me a deception check. I'm gonna, because of your delivery, I need that at disadvantage.
Delivery of an orb.
And then I also need your attack roll at disadvantage.
All right.
Is it?
I
Is it
rolled
an
an
attack
18
roll?
and a 3 on my deception.
Okay. Okay.
And then my attack roll. Oh, heart of the cards.
220.
Oh, God. I rolled a 17 and a 15.
Okay.
So that plus my.
You're good. You hit.
Okay.
What element is this orb you chuck at it?
Oh man, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Let me look at chromatic orb real quick. I don't think I've hit with this.
I think it's any of like the general ones, I'm pretty sure. Or it may be random.
I'm like, oh no, they're gonna rob me and my diamond. And I shoot out a I mean,
And
there's
it's really
nothing
fucked
more
up that you guys are
terrifying
attacking.
Then okay, it's acid. I think acid might be a cool thing to do.
Okay. Damage.
Please be careful.
It's 3d8.
That's a lot of damage.
What level?
Level 1.
3d8 on a level 1?
Level 1.
That's why you're supposed to have a thing you have to burn every time.
No, I don't think the diamond gets burned. You just need to have one. That's how it was in season 2 of Critical Role. That's gonna be 6 plus 5, 11 points of acid damage.
He is still conscious of.
All right.
And melting.
I'll be like, what was that?
Fine.
Oh my god.
That went right over my head. I don't know what's going on right now.
What's happening?
First they're gonna eat her. And then they're gonna eat me.
It smells so bad. Is something
He's in the
burning?
walls. He's in the goddamn walls.
Then he
There's,
gets
like,
the Trolls 2
hissing.
joke that I made, or reference that I made.
What'd you say?
No.
The Trolls 2 reference. Not like Trolls, like the...
Anime?
No.
Animated movie?
No, sorry.
No.
Didn't
Okay.
work.
The Emoji Movie?
No.
Emoji 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Oh my god, it smells terrible in here.
Don't play
What's
the scene.
happening?
Please don't play the scene.
All right. Whose turn is it now?
Back at the
Now
top
it goes
of
back up to
initiative?
the top of initiative with Swan.
Marcus was on the guy that's still alive.
Yep.
I go behind that guy. Can I?
Oh, I forgot that Marcus was attacking with disadvantage too, so he really missed.
Can I go behind the guy that Marcus was attacking from the front? Or do I not know where he is?
You would not know where he is. Just
So
due to
can
the
I
nature
walk
of the spell, you would not.
Can I walk randomly until I see his foot? Any foot?
Just like shuffling your feet against the ground until you like hit.
You're not gonna get over this disadvantage, dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
it is a specific like signifier of
Yeah.
the spell that it gets disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I make a improvised weapon melee attack on the guy that's alive?
You
What are
can
you
try.
using as your improvised weapon?
Metal manacles?
They're behind you.
Oh,
I
yeah.
No,
feel like-
they
I feel
never
like Swan
they
would be
never
able-
specifically said that they put those ones
Okay.
behind.
Okay, those ones could be in the front. Nice. I'm gonna
Alright.
fucking.
Okay, fine. Go ahead.
Worst case, I'm pretty sure I can like fucking. Do I still have my bard gear? Whatever.
I don't
make
think they
the-
would have taken your gear off you.
It's a violin.
Yeah. Do you not have any like short sword or dagger?
I do have a rapier.
You could like.
And
Solid,
just-
solid scene, man.
I don't know about that one.
But no, I have a reason for making an improvised weapon melee attack
Okay.
as a bonus action.
He's good with them. Go ahead, make your attack roll.
Wait, can it be as a bonus?
Nope,
Because it-
action.
Could you give yourself bardic
Oh.
inspiration?
You good?
I'm trying
And
to
then
figure
do it?
out.
Yep. The feat that you have.
Yeah, it's
So
only...
I have it listed as a specific thing. You can just roll that as the attack roll.
Yeah.
Like I just have it listed because of flavor. You don't actually have you don't have to have the bow in your hand in order. So it would be a D20 plus 2.
Yeah, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
I'm
But
actually trying to...
well, actually, can you bardic inspiration yourself? I don't know if you can.
Yeah, I think you can.
No.
You can
Nope.
inspire
Creature
yourself.
other than you. It is specifically
Oh.
lore bard that allows you to do it to others.
Oh, okay.
So I can't really inspire myself.
Go up and punch him. Fuck him up. What else are you gonna do?
I could...
You could try and
cast
grapple
Will.
him, I guess. You could
Yeah, I'm gonna do the wombo combo, of course.
hit him with the chains and choke him
Try to
out.
choke him. Yeah, choke
Hit
him
him
out.
with the chains, grab him, hold him. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Or at
Just
least attempt
because
to.
You're French
I was trying
Canadian.
to, yeah.
That did sound like the 6 consoles rant from XQC, just the way you said that.
So it's a D20 plus strength or plus.
It will also, so it's going to be an athletics check, but it's technically an attack, so it is a disadvantage, but that would be the same as if you were doing it, no matter what. Then you gotta
Okay.
wait, buddy. I know you gotta go out.
So what are
I
you
know.
saying? You're saying I roll a D20?
You roll
I roll
2d20, you take the lower number, then you add your athletics.
Please. Oh fuck. That's 8.
He'll have disadvantage too, technically. But he rolled 2 12s on the die, and with that and his bonuses, pass. So you go to like try to grapple him, and he like pushes you off, but he's like dealing with a bunch of other things.
Man's
Okay, so that was
on
the
fire
grapple.
from acid, so he's
Yeah.
That was the grapple. But could I have done like unarmed strike bonus action grapple?
No, it has to be a specific attack.
Because tavern brawler.
I'll allow you to make an attack as a bonus action. You won't be able to add your strength to the. Just going to be a D4 if you hit.
Yeah, I mean it's my unarmed strike. Use
Sure.
D4 for
Go
that.
ahead, make attack with disadvantage, 2d20, lower number, and then you're gonna add 2 to it.
Well, that's a nat 1.
Well,
smart.
so yes, it misses. You try to like go and elbow real quick, and then you miss.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's tough on casters when you can't see.
Yeah.
All right, Rhys, it is your turn now. Enter.
Okay.
Finish.
Can I can still see, correct? See in the fog, correct? Okay.
Yep, because
I
of blind sight.
will. Yeah, I will use hand axe and go after the other guards.
Yep, do it.
He's goopy.
He is
2.
goopy. His tunic is all melted, like when you take too many hits in Kingdom Come.
Finish him.
Pretty sure. One of them was a 19 and a 4.
Oh,
It was 2 d20s, right?
It would be
No.
1, but we'll take the first
1d20?
one because that's the first one you rolled, right? The
Yeah.
19.
you don't have
And it was-
disadvantage because you can see.
Yep.
Yes.
You can see, so you don't have that. So, all right, cool. You hit.
This is the first official use of the Blue Man Group combo, number 1.
Yeah, but Atlas wasn't here for that.
Yep.
Sag.
Well,
That's what you get when you go to Florida.
for 2 years.
I hope we see him again before he turns 50.
10.
What's the damage?
10 damage.
10?
It was a 5 plus 5.
Okay. So you run up, and sense where this guy is. You see that, like in your blind sight, which I like to think is similar to Hoff from Avatar: The Last Airbender, in which 2 people in this fucking call have not watched, you fucking cowards. And you see like just quick outlines of people, like it's a pulse going through the ground. You see he tries to grapple, gets pushed away, tries to go an elbow, just knocks the guy enough that it pushes him just a tiny bit, which is enough for you to just bring your axe in right where his neck is, and you cut his head off.
Nice!
Fatality.
I think we should cut
Murder.
to. I think we should cut to Lady for a second.
Yes.
So as this fight comes to
Murder.
an end, Lady is just kind of like in a mud pit
Fist bump everybody.
with a bunch of pigs. Not guards, but the animal. And
The cool version of pigs.
and you Sid are calling out for Lady. Lady kind of like, the pigs are all around, and then like Lady just kind of pokes her head out from the pigs. Can you give me a perception check with advantage because
Yeah,
of your
I
connection with
don't-
Lady?
I don't think Lady necessarily. I don't know if I necessarily want Lady to come to me.
Oh, I know.
It'd be 16.
16. You do see Lady's head poking out. The
Oh wait, is it
guards-
my perception? I thought it was Lady's perception.
Oh no, your perception.
Sorry, that's a 20.
Okay.
Do I see the detail in Lady's head?
Yeah, you see Lady.
I think so. We've already established that the pig pen is kind of along the way. I think what should happen is the lady pokes her head up with the thing still, and she, as she pokes her head up, she jumps out of the pen, and immediately starts booking it towards the water. And I think that they pass right by Sid, like that lady passes by, like on the opposite side of the street, basically. And lady runs at 100 feet per second, right? Or
Because of
basically
dashing. Yeah.
Pretty
feet
fast.
per second, yeah. And I think she, given that and like the mud also, she just passed them towards the water. And Sid turns and starts running after lady as well.
Okay. You're attempting to break away from where the guards are.
Yeah, he's running after the dog, right? So he's not. It's not like he's
Okay.
like, oh, lady, oh, and he runs after lady.
Sticking with the bit.
Okay. They're going to run with you after lady.
Okay.
The lady bolts out of the pig pen, running as fast as she can, heading towards the water and heading towards the docks, like in that general direction. And Sid is following at the best pace that he can.
Yes. So I think once we're all running and we get closer to the water, and I think it's not necessarily near the boat. Sid is manacled behind his back, right?
Naruto running.
Yes,
Correct.
he's Naruto running. Okay.
Sick.
So, grant me this. So, ferocity is a mechanic that is based around fighting, right? And encounter building, or like encounters. Do you think that this is kind of an encounter? Because my features all rely on ferocity, right? Like literally everything on my sheet relies on ferocity. Do you think that this would build the adrenaline?
I would say this would act. If we're going based on that, we're going to have to roll initiative, and I think if we do that, we're probably going to pick this up next week, because this would technically turn into a chase sequence.
Okay. Well, I think that when lady gets close to the water, she dives into the water with the stick. And as Sid is running after, he also dives into the water with the stick.
With no
Or
hand.
with lady. Do the guards follow?
Okay, so lady's running to the end of like a random dock and just jumping in.
Yes.
It might not even be like a dock.
Or
Unless
just like
the
a
entire shore is lined
For
with
the-
docks.
For the water to be deep enough for him to jump into the water after.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
All right. I basically need you to make a check to escape a grapple as like one of them notices that you're trying to jump and he tries to grab you.
Okay. So acrobatics.
Or athletics.
Come here.
Acrobatics.
Can I roll above?
Man, that was great.
Can I please roll above fucking
13?
5? Can I roll above a 5 tonight, please?
No.
13.
He goes to like reach out to like grab the manacles, like the chain in between, and you jump into the water. Basically doing what's it called? When you go a head first dive? Is it called a sailor's dive? I think it is.
Probably, yeah. I think it's a sailor's dive.
Yeah.
So they both. So I think lady is in the water already. And Sid just kind of holds his. I think Sid is kind of like dolphin kicking.
Yeah.
And
It is a sailor's dive.
so
Yep.
Sid holds his breath, and lady puts herself between, like behind, like Sid. So he's literally like this, and lady's in between him, like in between his arms, and she doggy paddles at the same time as he's trying to dolphin kick away.
Oh, Teamwork.
Okay,
And
so
they're swimming towards the boat.
okay.
There's a lot of fucking shit going on right now.
There's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
A lot of chaos. A lot of
What
shenanigans.
shenanigans?
Honestly, it's a lot that I'm gonna need to think about now to kind of plan.
Repercussions of this?
Yeah. So I think with that, as you're trying to escape doing this, that I'm gonna gather some information. I'm gonna lay something out. I'm gonna create something, and I think we're gonna pick it up next week.
Shenanigans.
There's a whole lot
Let
of.
us finish our
What was-
shenanigans.
What was the title of this episode?
A
Dive
dive
and
and
a
a
drive.
drive.
Ah.
Yeah, we're driving away.
Yeah.
We're
You just don't.
Yeah,
Sid
and
dived
and
in,
Sid
and then
dived.
we're
Yeah,
gonna
Sid
drive
dived
away.
in.
Yeah, it's almost like you knew we. Did you plan this whole thing, Dan?
Dan,
Oh my god.
did you
He
Yeah.
plan
knew.
this?
Totally.
Just like Georg. He's just like Georg.
You know what? You know what I've learned though from this whole experience? Never, ever, ever say yes. There is a magic item shop. It's just this one's leaving. This one's going away.
Remember,
All of them are just
still-
burning down. Mysterious.
I didn't think this was gonna happen. I just wanted to. I just wanted to look and see. I wanted to peruse.
I can't imagine the guy's face when
He
he
wanted
comes
to
back to his
rob.
shop, and when he's in his shop, everything's broken. There's no cloak billowing.
And he also is not gonna get the stick back, at least ideally.
I couldn't imagine a better outcome.
We
Yeah,
fucked
that
that
guy's an
guy.
asshole.
I-
Yeah,
Fuck
he
that
tried,
guy.
Yeah, dude's
he
an
tried to
asshole.
be Swifty. He tried to be Swifty. Not Swifty.
I don't know who that is, but fuck him for trying to do that.
Swifty's important.
Exactly.
You guys met Swifty's son. Now,
Yeah.
this guy's trying to be.
Please, my son.
It is
Actually,
my son.
you guys had a
Motherville.
sponsorship deal with Swifty's son.
Yeah, we did.
In the last campaign, you guys were.
Swifty's son has some. He had some sick shit. He had some like teleporting shit that teleports you into like the Sahara Desert or whatever the hell that was.
We were already there.
Yeah.
No. Wasn't there like a?
I mean, a teleportation thing works if you just are already there. You know, it's a guarantee that it works. You know.
This
wasn't there like a?
teleports you to my shop. We're already
Wasn't
here.
like there a biome thing, whatever the hell
Exactly.
it was? I forgot.
Are you just
Okay.
remembering that Dan kept on saying the word Veld because it's his favorite biome?
It is really. I love fucking Veld so much.
No, I remember being in the shop with the horse that tells. Was it a horse? I think.
I made a
What?
version of a shop with from that Avatar
The-
place
The
with
upstairs
Shu
part. The upstairs part with
Oh.
all the animals.
and Doc.
Oh yeah, the Kieran that Og hung out with.
Yeah. Kieran.
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 Kieran?
Well, Dan, rip whatever plan you had.
Next week.
Sorry, not sorry, in the slightest.
I, for one, had fun.
Yeah,
Next
this
time
was
the
a fun
dart.
session.
Next time
That-
the
that-
dart.
Book.
This is fun. This was
That
fun.
was perfect when you pulled it out of the bag. That was so
That
good.
was unbelievable.
I wasn't going to
And
allow a
it
check
didn't
until that.
work.
I straight
And
up
it
wasn't. I
didn't
was going to be
work.
like, yeah, no, I don't know.
I was like, he literally got a
Listen,
book of animal handling because his dog's so rowdy.
Hmm That was so good.
It was so
Wait.
smart.
Wait.
Wait, yeah, no, that would have implicated you.
What? Yeah, which is why I wasn't gonna say anything. I was gonna be like, I'm actually not there, but then you said it, so I mean, whatever.
Yeah, a lot was happening. There was a
Yeah,
lot to keep track of.
Yes.
You fucker.
Well, the guards just didn't notice.
Chaos.
Sure.
You rolled well enough that the guards didn't notice, but they didn't buy it.
They were like
4D chess.
stranger.
Fucks. All right. Well,
Dan, you're gonna have to let us keep this thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it does, but
If
you're
it's
gonna
a
have to
dra-
let us keep
If
it.
it's Dragon Butt Stuff Part 2, Oh.
It is. The funny thing is meta-wise, it's a good magic item. It's not that exciting.
Yeah.
It's
What does
really
it do?
+2.
So what?
I won't spoil it all.
Okay. I know it's warlock, so it's going to be going to.
Wait, the item's not a rod, or it's a different rod?
It's a
Is that what's up?
staff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not the rod, Colin, right?